Folks, I'm Mr. Nice Guy, the nicest. We have the best equipment, nobody has better. Look at this beautiful truck, so strong. We're gonna win, big lead.
Yo, VIP, let's kick it. Nice, nice, baby, nice, nice, baby. All right, stop, collaborate, and listen. Mr. Nice Guy's back with a new transmission. All right, stop, be nice and listen. Nice is back with a brand new invention. Kid, I'm Mr. Nice Guy. Nice on the mic, gonna make you smile. My armored ride shining so bright. Nice, nice, baby, yeah.
Nice, nice, baby, nice, nice, baby. Spread the word, Nice is back with a brand new vibe. Nice, nice, baby, nice, nice, baby.
What's up, everybody? That was a pretty cool video. I'd like that with that whole thing from NICE, yeah, from the National Immigration and Customs Enforcement instead of just Immigration and Customs Enforcement. National, that way it's nice. Lynn says, I like these early times. Well, thank you so much. American Dreamer, so great to see you. Miss Hacker, great to see you. Delay is obvious. Gundam Zig. Colfie, what's up? Jay Schwartz. I got the hell out of Minnesota. A lot of this was going on back then. It's even worse now. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's going on. It's going on. How you doing? Catherine K., great to see you too. All right, everybody. We got some people here. We're going to get going. Vince, what's up? Yeah, truth is your power. Hey, Cricket News HD, what's up? How's it going? Michelle's here too. What's up? So yeah, we got some news. I got a couple other little like videos, like little funny videos that I think we'll get a kick out of. So I'll play them now for everybody. I don't know if they're going to be able to stay in when it goes to the replay because, some of these can be a problem, like because of the music. But here's the raid. There was a raid today on the Leering Center. Timmy! Yeah, this is gonna have to get edited out because this song is gonna be a big fat copyright problem. It's very yuck, isn't it? What's up, America First? Kim, great to see you. Thanks for being here. This is Tim Walz. I didn't know he was that kind of weirdo that he loves Trump that much that he would do that with tissue and lotion. Oh, I mean, that's almost as bad as baby oil.
Get him in the back!
Yeah, that was a good one, right? And then we got, hold on. Oh, I need to go back. Then we got one more, which I don't know if you guys know about Sergeant Omar.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
Comrade for victory. My name is 11 Han Omar. I survived World War XI. The bombs fell, but this neck brace saved me. I ate pie for strength. I led my unit through the chaos. We bought war bonds. Now you must too. Buy war bonds. Let me tell you how I survived World War XI. This black tar saved my life. Surprise! Die, you old fools! You are sabotaging the war effort.
All right, just so YouTube's clear, this is not anybody live. This is Ilhan Omar on a video, so this is not live, YouTube. This is not live.
Stop you now! Die, you traitors! No more pie for you!
Wow, no more pie for you. Why would she kill those people over pie? Why would you kill them over pie? That's crazy. Omar is MIA. Yeah, she is. Be careful. I know. Yeah, the man drank horse semen. Anything is possible with. You ain't kidding. Tim Waltz. Yes, anything is possible with Tampon Tim. Metallica super dicks. Yeah, they are. But yeah, I know. So we'll see what happens. It's still live, so far it seems like maybe we didn't get clobbered yet. What is this? I have to ask. I saw this. I saw this that says it's not showing up. It says American Dreamer sent sunshine. What does that mean? What does it mean, sunshine? Anyone know? Uh-oh. Oh, Karen O was trying to say One is overrated. Yeah, the song One is overrated. Yeah, but I think that was Enter Sandman, though. World War XI, the Banana and Rice War. Yes. Tony. Hi, Tony. Tony, where is Tony here? I don't see Tony. I thought something was going on. Channels are still being attacked. Oh, I know. YouTube doesn't like fun toys. I know. It's like a sticker. Oh, okay. Did it cost money? Because it doesn't say anything if it cost any money, so I don't know if to take it off the goal. Because, yes, there is a goal like there is every night. The show's going to run about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe 3. It's going to get long as Tony Two Shirts. Yeah, Tony Two Shirts. Is he on? Anthony Cumia. But for every $100 in total that comes in across all platforms, including Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Cash App, PayPal, Ko-fi, whatever it's called, Kefir, and Super Tips, along with, about false demonetization. You ain't kidding. It's crazy. False demonetization. There's a lot of that going around. But, yeah, so it comes in, whatever. We add it all up. Even like Twitch and Kick memberships and stuff, or gifting memberships on YouTube or Rumble, or becoming members. We add it all up. We hit 100. We add an hour. If we hit 50, we activate Bellavision for the evening. There's that Bella girl just chilling there. And pie is overrated. Yeah, not one, but okay. Yeah. Oh, pie is overrated. Oh, I thought you were saying One, like the song One. My bad. I don't know. It depends on the pie. Like, I love some pudding pie, which is just basically pudding with a graham cracker. Like, you take Nilla wafers, you put them on the bottom of the pan, you pour hot pudding over it, and then you have it's like a pudding pie. But you sent a bunch before, but I didn't see them. Does it cost money? 3.14 pie. Does it cost money? Is what I was asking. Your eyes aren't doing great. No problem. Mine either. So, yeah. Lord of the Rings and the 11 Towers. Look at that. The 11 Towers. This is World War 11. How many world wars did you see? Oh, wow. Wow. 11. EO 11. That's crazy. 1, 2, 11. Wow. All right. So everybody knows there was an indictment tonight. James Comey was indicted. So, and we still here. That's right. What's up, Jonathan? How you doing? Great to see you tonight. So I guess we could watch a little bit of the press conference.
And willing and willfully make a threat to take the life of and or inflict bodily harm upon the president. So, you know, they're accusing Comey of trying to kill or having the intention to kill the president of the United States. Here's Todd Blanche. He's the acting attorney general.
No. They're saying that Comey made a threat. Having a threat, you don't have to have the intention of actually carrying out the threat. They don't have to prove that you intended to carry it out. All they have to prove is that you had the capability to do it. Like, was it possible for Comey to try to do it? Yeah. That's great news, Jim. Yeah. UN ruled for white Western countries to pay reparations to blacks saved. Oh, good for them. What about all the white slaves? What about all the white slaves? It's a good thing the UN just needs to get the F out of America. It's the 8645. No, this is the 8647 case. See, that was what I was going to ask Woodham. Is what about all those politicians like Gretchen Whitmer and what's her name, Kathy Huckle? Didn't they have that posted on like in their background and stuff? They said photos in his phone had him arranging it. Well, yeah, if he arranged it purposely and did it, that is the threat. That is the threat. Oh, please, God, no press conference with this guy. I could fast forward a little bit, I guess, to the other people, but I mean, it's just I could speed it up too. That's what I'll do. Oh, it won't let me speed it up. Never mind. Huh.
North Carolina returned an indictment against James Comey on 2 counts. The first count is that on or about May 15th of last year, he knowingly and willfully making a threat to take the life of and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States. Count 2, same day, May 15th, 2025, that the defendant, James Comey, knowingly and willfully transmitting in interstate commerce a communication that contained a threat to kill the President of the United States. Both of these counts carry a maximum term of imprisonment of 10 years. So I think it's fair to say that threatening the life of anybody is dangerous and potentially a crime. Threatening the life of the President of the United States will never be tolerated by the Department of Justice. Over the past year, this department has charged dozens of cases involving threats against all sorts of individuals. We take these seriously, every single one of them. For example, just today in the Northern District of Florida, there was a guilty plea from an individual who threatened multiple political leaders, including President.
They charged this in either North Carolina or South Carolina is where this indictment came down, because he was on the beach when he did it. I think he was in South Carolina when he did it. So this is a South Carolina grand jury. He be what they call in the legal terms. Comey is what they call spooked. Because this isn't DC, this isn't New York, this isn't Los Angeles, this isn't Maryland or Massachusetts. This is in South Carolina or North Carolina, one of the Carolinas. So he's got a problem. Your son's dog looks like Bella. Oh, I forgot to take, good evening, everyone, from a very rainy Alabama. Hillary and Obama committed treason when interfering with the election. Yes, they did. They did. What's up, DB? Great to see you. When you hear him talk, it sounds like Ben Stein and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Comey better stock up. It's North Carolina. I know it's one of the two, one of the Carolinas, north or south. It was one of them because he was on the beach walking around. So it would have been, South Carolina would have been better for justice. 10 years each count. Yeah, 10 years each count. Comey, yeah. They put the J6ers through hell. I hope they put his ass in prison for decades. He'll be in prison until a Democrat gets into, if convicted, he'll be in prison until he either serves out the complete term or a Democrat pardons him. Or maybe Trump would pardon him because, Trump might do that on his way out. Just be like, I'll forgive you all because I'm a better man. I could see him doing something like that. Yeah, traitor, definitely. They're all traitors. All of them. Treason.
Trump. In the Eastern District of North Carolina, where this case was indicted earlier today,
North Carolina,
there are multiple threats cases very similar to this one, including one where the defendant pled guilty recently to threatening former President Biden, another one that's scheduled to go to trial.
Oh, no. Kofi, it's different, okay, for the president. There's an actual statute that's been already upheld by the Supreme Court that says threatening the life of the president or other high-ranking officials in the government, all you need is that they had the capability to do it. So, like if somebody was in prison, all right, and they don't have the capability to do something, then it'd be hard to prove it. But because of who he was and everything, it's an actionable threat by him. These things have held up in the past. Oh, that's cool. You're live on Kick also? Yes, I'm live on Kick. I'm live on Twitch. I'm live on Instagram. I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on X. I'm live on YouTube. And I'm live on Rumble. Thanks, Neuro. Thanks for being here, buddy. Wasn't sure if you pay attention to Rumble chat. Thought I would jump in over here. Did you say something in Rumble chat? I didn't see you in Rumble chat. The Rumble chat comes up as long as it's a regular Rumble chat. It shows up live. Currently packing for North Carolina. You're heading to Mountain Readiness tomorrow. Oh, that's awesome. Tell everybody I said hi. Happy Leering Day. Yeah. No, Dan, you're fine. You're not late. Everything's good. Maybe you're right. Hopefully. I'm just saying, like, if it, Bella's, I forgot. Bella is here. I forgot to take her down. That's my bad. I forgot to take her down. I'll take her down now. I just want to double check to make sure. No, don't take her down. Well, we haven't hit the $50 or the $25. I have to take her down. It's just the way of the world. It's been an interesting, good week. Yeah, I hope so. Tell everyone I said hi, man. Tell Joe and the guys. The shell formation was formated and located in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. Yeah, here's the thing. Like, supposedly on his phone, there's pictures of him assembling it and spelling it out. So he can't say he just stumbled across it. I guess. I reckon.
This summer, another one indicted, an individual was indicted for threatening.
Well, thank you.
Tom Homan. I say that to say that while this case is unique and this indictment stands out because of the name of the defendant, his alleged conduct is the same kind of conduct that we will never tolerate and that we will always investigate and regularly prosecute. I want to take a moment to thank the hardworking members of the FBI who investigated this case over the past 11 months or so. the United States Secret Service, who also assisted in this investigation, and the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of North Carolina, led by United States Attorney Ellis Boyle, who's standing to my right. This was an investigation that remains ongoing. That's been ongoing for about a year. And that's all we're going to say about it today. I will let the U.S. Attorney Boyle speak now, and then after that, Director Patel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's breaking news. I'll jump into that in 1 second, Gundam. I just saw that they denied their request to certify the election and all this other stuff. So looks like Virginia redistricting is not happening. I wonder if Florida's still going to go through. Yeah, Wheezy Bob says, uh-oh, he's cooked. It sounds like he's cooked to me. If they actually convict him for that, it sets a massive precedent for all these people online that say much worse and say it more directly. Yeah, like a lot more. A lot more. Will he get off because he had no ill intent? They don't have to show ill intent. You can't get into somebody's mind and show ill intent on something like this. You know, yeah, joke or no joke, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, if you get onto an airplane and you say the word bomb on an airplane, it doesn't matter in what context. You're getting arrested and taken off the plane. It doesn't matter. Like, you have a First Amendment right, but if you say the word bomb on an airplane, you have no First Amendment right to say the word bomb on an airplane. You just don't. I really hope Trump goes scorched earth and shows these people what prison camps really are like. Ooh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Hey, Spuds, what's up, buddy? The name is Pat Hacker. Call me Pat. Okay, don't call you. Okay, sorry. I'll just call you Pat. I didn't know I was offending you. Sorry. Do you have freedom of speech but not freedom of consequence? Yeah, I guess that's what you could say. I guess that's what you could say. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Wasn't directed at me. Oh, okay. I thought she was saying, because I said Miss Hacker, maybe, that she didn't want me to call her Miss Hacker. He knew better, though he thought he would get away with it. Sure, he thought he would get away with it. Folks were calling you pathetic. Why would someone call you pathetic? Huh. Check Ko-Fi. Okay. I don't see anything on Ko-Fi. Uh-huh. Oh, path, autofill. Oh, okay, okay. You said hello, patch. Oh, I don't know. All right. Didn't Joy Behar say it too? Yeah, I think they did.
Earlier today,
if something comes through on Ko-Fi, it'll come up in the chat. That I'll see it come up in the chat. It'll say a donation once it goes through.
grand jury in the Eastern District of North Carolina returned a true bill indicting Mr. James Comey with committing 2 felonies. Count 1, he knowingly and willfully made a threat to kill and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States in violation of 18 U.S.C. 871A. Count 2, he knowingly and willfully transmitted in interstate and foreign commerce a communication that contained a threat to kill President Trump in violation of 18 U.S.C. 875C. Mr. Comey will be given every form of due process all citizens are entitled to receive, to include a trial by a jury of his peers. In the Eastern District of North Carolina, it doesn't matter who you are. We take all threat cases seriously and prosecute anyone who violates federal law, regardless of title or status.
That's right, regardless of title or status. And that's right, folks. You saw that from Mr. Colfie 2A. Donated $25 over there on the Coffee Bella. Yes, that's right. Who is this? This is the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of North Carolina, or Eastern District of North Carolina, or Central District, somewhere in North Carolina, Southern District of North Carolina. So we'll see. But the Raleigh and Charlotte are blue. Yeah, well, the grand jury indicted them, so the grand jury indicted them. Yes, hello, Rob's chat. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, everybody who came over from Rob's chat. That's right. That's right. We had a raid from Mr. Robert Gavea. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. As you heard from the Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney, former FBI Director James Comey, has now been indicted for 2 felony counts. While many of you may read this indictment and view this matter as a simple investigation, it is the farthest thing from that. Every single investigation this FBI and our partners at the Department of Justice undertake, especially those that involve the threats to harm or hurt or even kill individuals, whether they hold public office or civilians in our country, are met with the same measure of investigative prowess and tools and personnel in partnership with the Department of Justice as anyone else. As the U.S. Attorney indicated, James Comey will be afforded every matter of due process under the United States Constitution. And as the Attorney General indicated, this has been a case that's been investigated over the past 9, 10, 11 months. These cases take time. Our investigators work methodically. They are career agents, career prosecutors who work these matters. They call the balls and strikes in the field as they see fit pursuant to the facts of the case and the law. They took that information and made a presentment to a grand jury, a jury of peers in the district in which the alleged crime took place. And that grand jury spoke, and that grand jury returned a 2-count indictment against James Comey.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. All right. Now this is the news I wanted. That was breaking news. It just happened, so it wasn't on the list of news. But this is breaking news. What are you doing here? So Virginia Supreme Court denies motion to certify the redistricting referendum. So that means ain't no redistricting happening, folks, in Virginia. Virginia Attorney General Jay Jones asked the Supreme Court of Virginia to allow a temporary pause so the redistricting referendum could be certified. They said, nah. So Virginia's newly drawn political landscape will remain paused after a ruling from the Supreme Court on Tuesday afternoon. The Virginia Supreme Court heard oral arguments on Monday in the high-stakes case that could void a recently passed referendum. Patel always looked like a little kid. They got caught doing something and scrambling for an excuse. Comey is a commie. Yes, he was a registered communist, just like John Brennan from not voted for the Communist Party. Dems have to find a new way to cheat. Yeah, oh, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. No great district lobster of Virginia. Nope. Rob will send ComeyTube over after the memo stream. Has to wait. Yeah, I know. I know, Nero. It's no big deal. Some people came over from Rob anyway, like Muffin and K Bean put it in the chat to let people know to come over. The people that weren't gonna aren't members, but it is what it is. It doesn't matter. I appreciate everything. So yeah. So a judge ruled that they put a block on it because they failed all these different things. It violated several of the Constitution clauses. The 90-day public notice. It had to be, then said that the question presented to voters was flagrantly misleading. So, yeah, so that's it. Yeah. And here we got 8 news. Wait, is there a... Same thing, really. Supreme Court of Virginia denies request to appeal ruling blocking redistricting. So, Run. What? Wonders and wonders too. Hey, Tweety Logic says, thank you. Good to be alive. The world's a beautiful place full of wonder. Yeah, wonder. Read Government Gangsters by Patel. Yeah, it's a good book by Patel. To be fair, as far as redistricting goes, the state Supreme Court said they couldn't rule on it until after the vote, but anyone paying attention saw it would get shut down. That's what I thought they said. They said because of the way that the constitutional stuff is worded, it's not complete. It's not final, so they can't rule on something final. It would be what's known as an interlocutory appeal type of thing. If to rule on something before it's completed type of thing, you can't sue. I was just worried that they were going to then after say, well, now we can't because, what's it called? Latches. Because you guys waited too long. So latches. So that's what they try to pull. Laughing at this one. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's a funny one. They did it again? They did it again? Wow. This costs $25? What? What are you talking about? So former FBI Director James Comey is indicted again. I didn't want to get into the story. I didn't want to get all into the Virginia story because it was just breaking news. It's just they denied the request. So, I mean, we covered the other day, but I didn't want to get all into the. Bella's right there. You don't see Bella? You don't see her? She's right there. I don't know what you mean. You don't see my 100? No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, I'm kidding you. Sorry. Oh. I'm 25 for, I got, Bella's right there. So Comey is indicted again. Oh, it was a joke. Okay. It was a joke. All right. Former FBI director has been indicted for a second time. The first one, if you remember, got thrown out on a technicality. It had nothing to do with whether or not the charges were good or was proper. It was like they said, oh, that U.S. attorney is not authorized for, which is crazy too. Like the fact that they let those go, they should have kept pushing them. And they should have appealed it and said, no, this is a good indictment. The exact charges are not clear. No, the exact charges are threatening to kill the president and transmitting that threat across, state lines through public, wire waves or whatever. Bella is your Zen spirit animal. Yes. The second indictment comes after a judge dismissed Comey's prior charges of false statements and obstruction based on constitutional appointments clause, which is insane. Insane. Because it's not in the appointments clause anything about any of this other stuff that they're talking about. Those are all later statutes. He's been indicted for a second time. Trump has long pressed for political adversaries to face charges. Oh, is that what he does? No, people that broke the law. In September of last year, Justice Department brought charges against Comey, accusing him of lying to Congress over leaks to the press. The case was dismissed late last year by a federal judge who found that the interim U.S. attorney had been improperly appointed. The president appoints the people. The president appointed her. Comey should have been done 8 years ago. Oh, yeah, he should have been. Should have been really, really done. Brennan too. I hope so. I hope Brennan too. Anyone with two brain cells to rub together knows that was what was hinted by 8647. Yeah, and he was the former, like that's the thing. How can a former FBI director try to claim? Because I think that's how they got him, is they know that while like they have communications with him, they know he knows what it meant. So that's the problem. He knows what it meant. He can't deny and say, like, I just thought it meant to get him out of office. You know, because that doesn't work. Does not work that way. Comey was hired by George W. Bush. I think he was in there long before that, though. I'm pretty sure that Comey was the U.S. attorney or one of the head U.S. attorneys in Boston during the whole him and Mueller. You know, Robert Mueller and James Comey are completely tied up in, like, Comey's always been with Mueller, tied up in the Whitey Bulger stuff. Oh, look at this. We got $5 from Tweety Logic. Hi, Bella Pup. Thank you so much. With that means we are now just $70 away. My bad, just $70 away. I didn't have it changed. There we go. From adding a first additional hour to the show. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the rant, Tweety Logic. Last year, it was reported Comey was under investigation for calling for Trump to be killed in a cryptic Instagram post. He just stumbled upon it on the beach. Well, I guess that's the thing, is they have proof that he did it himself. There's pictures and stuff on his phone of him assembling it. Multiple pictures. Cool shell formation on my beach walk, he said. Comey previously peddled a BS story explaining that he just stumbled upon the formation. We were walking on the beach, went to the beach to prepare for this week, and we were walking back towards the road. We saw the sand. Someone had arranged shells with numbers. And Patrice, my wife, said, why would someone put an address in the sand? And I said, I don't know. And we stood over it and said, like, this is the problem, is if he said this to the FBI agents, they've got him for lying to FBI agents too. Comey then threw his wife on her bus. She said, when I was a server, she did a lot of work in restaurants and meant to remove an item from the menu and they ran out of ingredients. And I said, well, to me, as a kid, it always meant to leave a place, to ditch a place. You got your primary voter handbook today. No profile for Steve Hilton in it. Well, I think that might be against the law, Pat. That might be a problem. Maybe Steve needs to file a lawsuit or something. Yeah, in the context of Schumer saying 6 ways to Sunday. Yeah, right? They have 6 ways to Sunday to take you out. That's what he said. Your team Bianco. I'm Team Vovino. That will give him a year like Martha Stewart. Yeah, they got Martha Stewart for something that probably she had no clue that it was inside information that she got. Comey's daughter prosecuted Diddy and Epstein. She avoided the worst charges for both to avoid any celebrities and politicians. Yeah, she did. And he said, and it wasn't until I heard through her that people are saying it was a call for some sort of assassination, which was crazy. Not enough time to reprint. Oops. Oh, yeah. Well, why? Hilton's been on the ballot. He's like one of the top 3 people in the primary. It's like, what is it? What are they talking about? What are they talking about? That's insane. Comey indicted for 8647 Instagram posts. And a litany of leftist maniacs begging for Trump's death. Yeah. Martha pissed someone off, probably Hillary. Well, that's what it seems like, right? That's definitely what it seems like. There's something happening. Mm-hmm. So we saw the press conference with Blanche and Patel and the U.S. attorney. What's his name? Doesn't have his name. Huh. We just watched the ad, you jerks. I can't believe this. Well, we're not going to watch it because I keep trying to play the same ad over and over again. So it includes a forfeiture notice, meaning that convicted, Comey must forfeit any property or proceeds derived from his alleged unlawful conduct. So what they're saying is any of the money, here's the indictment, any of the money that he might have made, like going on TV, selling books and stuff like this for all this stuff. So I posted a picture of some shells I saw on the beach, which I assumed were a political message. So see, these two things don't align with what he was saying. I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. What was the political message? What was the political message? What was the political message? They both knew what it was. Hilton says it all. Yeah, I charged them both. Hey, Anne Marie, awesome to see you. Thanks for being here tonight. Stream crash. Over 8. I saw that. There's something wrong. It's something with YouTube, I think. No worries. Clinton wrote a book about it. Takes a villain. Lucre, Dirty Monies. Hey, Christine Durr. How you doing? Thanks for the 5. Thank you so much. Wait, no. I'm hitting the wrong buttons over here, man. That means we're only 65 away right now, folks, from adding a first additional hour to the show. Just 65 away. For anybody joining late, Virginia Supreme Court denied a motion to certify that redistricting election. So, not serve it for personal gain. Yeah, bring treason laws back. Chad Bianco is my pick, but I no longer live in California. He was great during the pandemic. Yeah, the only thing I didn't like what Bianco said is when he said that if you're here illegally and you're not committing any crimes or doing stuff, we don't care. It's like, wait, no, I care. So that's the one thing. You prefer Hilton, but I could vote for Bianco, but I have a distrust of sheriffs. We had a bad one here for decades. Click on the X in the top right corner. Why do I want to do that? Oh, shit. This is the next story. My bad. DOJ indicts Fauci's right-hand man for allegedly circumventing open records requests. I'd say there's more than circumventing. I was reading some of the stuff, and to me, did you get an email about the pew-pew? No, why? Should I have? I don't see nothing there. So this case is more because there was an actual, it was late night show Yucca fodder. Yeah. Does anyone know about the new DUI in Florida? It needs to be struck down if it stands. Tiger should get at least 180 days. If injustice system flips to equal justice for all. I'm not sure what you're talking about exactly. Are you saying that there's a new law that's going to let him get off or something? Hey, what's up, Boohoo? Great to see you. Lurch Linger, what's up? Yeah, tap that like button. Asset forfeiture in many of these criminal cases would define a legitimacy as opposed to grandma pulled over by a boss hog on the highway. Yes. I'll look at him saying that. Late fee in PayPal? Oh, well, thank you. Wow, thank you so much, KPT. With that $10 on PayPal, that means we are now just $55 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. Yeah, many records were 86. Yeah. 50% have hit the like. Oh, stream problems on YouTube after the video with the pew-pew just saying. No, that was it was Rob was having a stream crash on YouTube. So it's still frozen over there actually right now. Yeah, it didn't go through. So no worries. Nobody's still jacked up frozen over there. So yeah, this guy. Now to me, this wasn't just they avoided FOIA requests. Locals was frozen. I think it might have been. It looks like Locals was frozen. It looked like his YouTube and everything was frozen. So it could have been a StreamYard issue, or it could have been something else. But anyway, hey, Marjorie, what's up? Great to see you, Marjorie. So yeah, this guy, they actually plotted to circumvent FOIA and purposely do things so they can hide stuff. Like, that's a conspiracy. I think all the people involved in this should be charged. Like, everyone involved that knew about it should be charged, in my opinion. As alleged in the indictment, Dr. Moron and his co-conspirators deliberately concealed information and falsified records. Yeah. Too bad they can't get Fauci. You ain't kidding. So the Department of Justice indicted a former senior advisor to Anthony Fauci on Tuesday for partaking in an unlawful scheme to avoid open records requests. Yeah, it's not just that they didn't comply with the open records requests. They had a scheme to circumvent them. That's the issue. These allegations represent a profound abuse of trust at a time when American people needed it most, during the height of the pandemic. You never want to have distrust in the pandemic. Yeah, pull Fauci's medical license too. Something should happen to him, don't you think? I mean, something's got to happen. He can't just walk away scot-free. I mean, I that's the way I feel about it. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm old school like that, that I think he should face some kind of judgment. The documentary, A Plot Against the President, is really good. It is. So, government officials have a solemn duty to provide honest, well-grounded facts and advice in the service of the public interest, not to advance their own personal or ideological agendas. There was also some stuff I saw in this where they were talking about like a lot of money. Like people saying, how come you're getting all that money? I should get some of this money. And it's like, what? Oh, what's up, kids? Gavea's experiencing swap mist or something. Yeah. According to the press release, Dr. David Moron, has been charged with conspiracy against the United States, destruction, alteration, or falsification of records in federal investigations, concealment, removal, or mutilation of records, and aiding and abetting. Moron's previously served as a senior advisor to Fauci, the now former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIAID. Yeah, but what did he do before 2006? Justice Department noted several key allegations against Moron, including that he, two co-conspirators, and others conspired during the pandemic to defraud and commit several offenses against the United States. To defraud. To defraud. Look at that. Defraud. It was a fraud on all of us. Jim Jordan was reading emails from Fauci at the start of COVID. He said it did not look like it could come from nature. It had to be engineered. Fauci shut that down immediately. Yeah. You hate being early, absent-minded? Well, I'm sorry. I was trying to pick up a raid from Rob, but, I got to try to grow the channel. I need, we need to get as many people as possible watching the show, so whatever I got to do. Where's that short fuck at? I don't know. Someone's going to... I have a feeling that he's going to get caught in a lie or something else. It's going to be a different thing. He researched the Tiger DUI case and changes to the Florida law. There is nothing that will allow Tiger to avoid some consequence. Okay. Crimson King, however, was entertaining to a point. Oh, I don't know what that means. Who's Crimson King? I know King Crimson. There was, King Crimson. Wasn't that a band? Like a metal band? So the NIH ended the grant based on allegations that the virus came as a result of a leak from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. in Wuhan, China. Jim's army grows. That's right. Some observers have suggested that co-conspirator and former EcoHealth Alliance Peter Daszak, who should be like, that guy should be in a room somewhere being talked to vociferously by someone who knows the art of waters and boards. Crimson and clover, over and over. Crimson and clover, over and over. You did get the raid on Rumble. YouTube is asshole. Well, thank you. The abortionist who littered RG's chat. Oh my God. That's terrible. I didn't know that happened. It seems as if many true independent news discussions are being slowed down. Yes, they are. They're messing around with everything. Stick to a regular schedule and you will grow faster. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stick to like the 7 or 8 o'clock show at night, depending on when Rob starts. If he starts at 6, I'll start at 8. If he starts at 5, I'll start at 7. I mean, you know, except for maybe on the weekends, I'll start later because it's the weekend. And no relation to the 80s band King Crimson? Okay, you'd guess. Well, I hope so. They were righteous. So EcoHealth sent more than $500,000 worth of U.S. grants, including those from the NIH, with Fauci's approval to the Wuhan Institute of Virology to conduct gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses, which Fauci lied about repeatedly and said they weren't doing it. Yeah, Daszak previously dismissed the lab leak theory as a conspiracy theory. I seen another channel demonetized for inauthentic content, and it was all AI generated. Had to be authentic. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, YouTube was telling us to use AI in all their things. If you go to the YouTube is getting inauthentic. Yeah, if you go to like the advice that YouTube Studio gives you for how to make your stuff better, they tell you to get a format, use a template for your show titles and your names, and just change some of the stuff. Just keep it like a standard thing. And the same thing with your thumbnails. Get a template and just change some things. It's like, you told us to do these things, and now you're saying that that's a problem. You know, YouTube don't, you know, I don't know, man. YouTube is being like really weird sometimes. Like super duper weird. King Crimson started in the late 60s. Oh, Oz didn't know that. Hold on. What's up? The keys to what, my car? Oh, hold on. Sorry, 1 second. Where's your mom? Kirsten, do you want the keys to my car? Oh, I thought he wanted the keys to my car. Sorry. I guess my grandson wanted to just go play in my car. I didn't realize that. I thought his mother needed the car keys. Sorry. So Health and Human Services cut off funding and debarred EcoHealth Alliance and Daszak last year for 5 years over the organization's reckless research. King Crimson was prog rock. Crimson Glory was metal. I don't know. I swear. Oh, I was thinking of King Diamond. My bad. King Diamond, right? Wasn't King Diamond metal? According to a DOJ summary of the indictment, morons, an individual identified as co-conspirator 2, pledged to help co-conspirator 1 restore the termination of the bat coronavirus grant. They have all Dr. Frankensteins. Yes, all these people need to go to jail. All of them, in my opinion. Like, for a long time. And you want to know something else? Like, a couple of years ago, we wouldn't even be able to talk about this on YouTube. They would kick us off for talking about this. They would say it's all like medical misinformation. Oh, King Diamond was your first concert. Okay. Obama started this. Yes, he did. In 2020, YouTube and Facebook had a statement placed below any ever post about China virus or stolen election. Yeah. Yeah, you used to have to do stupid thing like King Diamond. Okay, yeah. King Diamond was thrash metal. That's what I thought. Okay, so that's why I was confusing King Diamond and King Crimson. Okay. The agency noted how, in anticipation that their communications would be requested through the Freedom of Information Act, the moron and two co-conspirators agreed in writing to intentionally hide from public view their communications and used their personal Gmail account. The indictment alleged the co-conspirators used Moron's personal Gmail account to exchange non-public NIH information. Uh-oh. Exchange, edit draft letters, do all this stuff. Wow. And they had a back channel information to senior NIAID officials, which is NIAID official 1 is Fauci. I would bet money that the official number 1 is Fauci. Wow. And that each of these matters fell within Moron's role as a senior advisor and constituted federal records that need to be created. Bella is in action. Yes, she is. He testified to this stuff in Congress. Yeah, but I think in Congress he just kept saying, I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. That's what he kept saying in Congress. KD was melodic black metal. Merciful Fate was closer to a black speed metal. Okay. The Justice Department noted allegations that Morons and co-conspirator 1 conspired to pay illegal gratuities. Pay illegal gratuities, with indictment contending that the latter gifted the former wine for his behind-the-scenes shenanigan and arranged for its delivery to Moron's residence in Maryland. They identified an official act that could undertake to deserve the gifted items, which was a scientific commentary in the prominent medical journal advocating COVID-19 had natural origins. Hard to prosecute any of them without opening the U.S. up to worldwide prosecution. Well, why the U.S.? Why not the Wuhan lab? I mean, yeah, we were funding it, but China, it was in their lab. That's who leaked it out, was China. I mean, personally, I think, why are we doing anything with China? You know. Fauci senior advisor David Moron once bragged that the FOIA never turned up anything useful. James, please stop. James, please stop. Yeah. Fauci was working for the U.S. No, I know Fauci was working for the U.S., but what I'm saying, though, is that, like, Fauci was lying and doing all this stuff. This is different than, like, just the development of the virus that was going on at the Bat Lab in Wuhan. So, I mean, we fund stuff all over the place. Why are we farting around with it anyway? I don't know. I personally think they were trying to make a weapon out of it. I think China did make a weapon out of it, and China purposely released it, is what I think happened. Like, it got out of that lab in Wuhan. In my 22 years of NIAID, I've never seen a FOIA that turned up useful information. Oh, he bragged about it. Oh. FOIAs are dreadful and paranoia-inducing. In the old days, we had to do them ourselves, finding and printing out thousands of emails coming and going. Now they sometimes get our text messages, too. Many FOIAs turn up thousands of pages of docs. Of course, most of them are smart enough to know to never have smoking guns. And if we did, we wouldn't put them. If we found them, we'd delete them. In my 22 years of NID, I've never seen. So he's admitting that they would delete them. Deleting them is another crime. It's destruction of records. The indictment allegations seem aligned with findings unearthed in records previously released by the House Republicans. Those documents appear to show Morons corresponding with Dasick about evading open records requests. North Fork, Virginia, or are we talking about Norfolk, Virginia? Yeah, mosquitoes versus chain link fences. Useless, yeah. Rebelmania, partly to accept mail-in ballots. Yes, I think that's why they did it. I think the NIH changed the definition of gain of function the day before Fauci testified in front of Congress. Yeah, they tried to play these games, but you can't. You know, there's a literal definition, not the definition they decided to just try to make up on their own. You know, China gave Trump a present for the 2020 elections. Yeah, nah, fuck Virginia. It's nah, fuck. Nah, fuck. And in one September 9th, 2021 email to several colleagues, and Dasek morons repeatedly wrote, I try to always communicate over Gmail because my NIH email is FOIA'd constantly. The coup release was not the real PSYOP. China acting like it was Ebola was. CCP locked their population into their buildings and tortured them for nothing so the rest of the world would freak out. Yes, gain of function at UC Davis. Did you guys see Trump troll King Charles today? I didn't see it. I mean, I do have that he was here today. Yesterday, my Gmail was hacked, probably by these gain of function assholes. And until it can get fixed, I may have to occasionally email from my NIH account. Don't worry, just send to any of my addresses and I will delete everything. I don't want to see it in the New York Times. Yet those were banning words not long ago. You ain't kidding. The unearthed emails also suggested that Fauci had instructed Morenz to speak with legacy media in an apparent effort to downplay the lab leak theory. As the Federalist previously reported, President Biden granted Fauci a sweeping preemptive pardon hours before leaving office. He gave Charles a Big Mac. Not a Royale with cheese. According to the DOJ, if convicted, Morenz could face a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison on a conspiracy charge and a maximum of 20 for each count of destruction, alteration, or falsification. Wow, and a maximum of 3 years for each count of concealment. The case is being prosecuted by the Assistant U.S. Attorney Joseph R. Baldwin and Bijan A. Mustafi for the District of Maryland. I'm not confident that something happens in Maryland, but then again, a lot of people, the amount of upset people are over the coup crosses party lines. Says, in my 18 years of USDA, I saw all corruption one needs to see. I tried to end it. It ended me. Was the troll to say the beehive needs the queen? Top advisor to wicked Dr. Fauci, indicted on several charges by the Department of Justice. David Moron. One of the cronies of the most destructive political figure in recent memory has been indicted. Yep, Fauci did commit crimes against humanity. That's the thing, like Fauci should probably be brought up on like charges in The Hague, something like that. That's what needs to happen. Indictment was unsealed Monday in Maryland federal court. It also lists 2 unnamed co-conspirators who concealed, removed, or destroyed and caused concealment. Like if one of those people is Fauci, they should just name Fauci. Yep, just name it if it was Fauci. Anthony Fauci advisor indicted by DOJ charged of concealing COVID records. All right. King Charles is here, folks. King Charles is here. He says he's praying for our alliance to continue as he addresses the UK-US special relationship in Congress. He thought the EU would get him? One could hope. One could hope. The king also condemned political violence. King Charles delivered a landmark address to the United States Congress. Yes. Yeah, where's all the No Kings people? How come the No Kings people weren't protesting because there's a king here? Isn't that what Trump said? That we actually have a king here and there's no Kings protest? Is that what the troll was? Something like that? Yeah, Fauci totally bungled the H1N1 infection in 2009 too, 60 million infected. Did he offer to help in the Strait of Horrors? Yep, no kings. That's right, no kings. No kings. He urged the preservation of the special relationship between the UK and America. The only reason we had a special relationship was because we had similar beliefs. We believed in the same things: the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, the right to be represented, and have representation in government. All basically, and the UK has abandoned all that stuff. Free exercise of religion. They've abandoned everything. Rant. There's a 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 rant. And there's another rant for Uzelian. The real troll he had to walk past. Well, thank you for the 5. I'll pull that up right now. I'll pull that up right now. That means we are now just $50. We're halfway there, folks. We're halfway there. To an extra hour. It could be the first extra hour of many, or it could just be one extra hour, but we're halfway there, and we got, more than half the time. We got at least another hour, if not more, to go before we hit the deadline to have that 50. So I remember him saying about right of all religions. Yes, he did. We will get to that in 1 second. Speaking of the joint meeting of lawmakers, the King framed the UK-US alliance is more important today than it has ever been. Explicitly echoing Prime Minister Sturmer in a rare moment when he quoted a sitting British premier on the congressional stage. The two nations, the relationship, the partnership is indispensable, and we must not disregard everything that we have sustained us the last 80 years. Yeah, the UK is a Muslim. Stop singing? Okay, I'll stop singing, sorry. The speech was delivered during a symbolic visit marking 250 years since American independence. The tone and language bore the King's emphasis on history, faith, and shared values. Wow. What shared values do we have anymore? I mean, I know that England, they share the value of not wanting to be conquered by someone else, and they expect us to protect them. But I mean, what other, do they share our value of the freedom of speech? Freedom of the press? No. They don't. They definitely don't share our beliefs of right to keep and bear arms. Yeah, it's indispensable to the UK. It's not indispensable to us. It's not. It's a one-way street. It's a one-way street called Piccadilly Circus. Someone suggested Charles was converting to Muslim. I thought he already did. Yeah, how's the Sharia law going in the UK? I thought he already did, because he held celebrations for like Ramadan Ding Dong or whatever it's called, Ramadan Ding Dong, Ramadan Ding Dong, right? And for that other celebration that they have called Idiot or something like that, Idiot. I don't know, but not for Easter. He didn't do any Easter celebration this year at all. So what does that tell you? Will you sign my petition for Trump's kids to stop hunting the Triceratops? Definitely. We can't kill any more Triceratops. Yeah, that's what I said. Idiot. That's what I said. Yeah, Ramadama Ding Dong, whatever it's called. Ramalama Ding Dong. Boom shakalaka, Ramalama Ding Dong, baby. We got the ooh, ma, ma, id. Nothing for Easter. That's right. I will pray with all my heart that our alliance will continue to defend our shared values with our partners in Europe and the Commonwealth and across the world. He mentioned Easter today, two-faced. Yeah, he didn't do it on Easter. He had Muslims with him celebrating one of their many ridiculous holidays. I pray with all my heart that our alliance will continue to defend our shared. We don't have shared value. We don't. We'll ignore the clarion calls to begin ever more inward-looking. Otis, my man. That's right. That's right. Otis. Do you boys mind if we dance with your dates? What's up, hamburger helper? King Charles is toasting. Ramalama ding dong. We should take England. Yes. Hey, Kelly, how are you doing? Great seeing you. Barney Frank is in hospice? Oh, that's terrible. So sad. In both of our countries, it's the very fact of our vibrant, diverse, and free societies. What? This whole diversity thing is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Including to support some of the ills that so tragically exist in both our societies today. What are you talking about? The king contrasted the present global climate with what his mother faced, noting that the world is now more volatile, more dangerous than the world in which my late mother spoke in this chamber in 1991. Yes. Yeah. Dodd-Frank's. A partnership born out of a dispute, but no less strong for it. And highlighted our democratic traditions from Magna Carta to the American Constitution that continue to bind the two nations. Yeah, well. The king also made a point in reference to political violence, speaking of the incident not far from this great building, which sought to harm the leadership of your nation and to foment wider fear and discord. Kings usually want to keep their people alive. Yeah, you would think. It's usually like their most important thing, right? To protect their... Isn't he supposed to be the protector? Protector of the land? Protector of the realm? How about replacing diversity with unity? Yeah. Such acts of violence will never succeed. Well, I mean, sometimes they succeed. I mean, it might not do what you wanted, but I mean, look, Kennedy, Lincoln. Sometimes they succeed. Depends on where it was. I am mindful that we are still in the season of Easter. So he finally mentioned Easter, but he didn't say anything on Easter Sunday when he had Muslims praying on rugs and stuff. A monarch also drew his long-standing commitment to interfaith dialogue, saying he's devoted a large part of his life to interfaith relationships. Now, there you go, interfaith. That means he's trans-religious. What's up, Doc? Awesome having you here. The creator of He-Man died at 90 today. Oh, no, Roger Sweet. No, that's terrible. England is now a radical Muslim sewer. Yes. Charles added that faith remains a firm anchor and daily inspiration, and praised the profound respect that develops as people of different faiths grow in their understanding of each other. Yeah. Damn, I bet I missed Comey. We'll have to rewatch about time. Yeah, that was the first thing, was Comey, and then we talked about Virginia. There was a good ruling out of Virginia's Supreme Court that told the state, no, we won't order your election to be certified. You're going to wait till we decide on this. The king also stressed the modern strategic importance of the alliance, pointing to defense cooperation, intelligence ties, including the F-35 fighter in the AUK-US submarine pact with Australia. The AUKUS. Gitmo for Comey. Yeah, King Charles doesn't want to make waves with anyone, appeasing the wrong. Yes, he is. He's appeasing the wrong people. Look at all you beautiful people running in the rain. They need to pay their NATO bill. Yes, they do. Number 22 on the thumbs up dinger, not to brag. Well, thank you. Levy's here. Where is he? Jay Leibgott's here? There he is. What's up, Jay? How you doing? Great to see you. here we go. This is something. Rose Garden is lined with band members in period outfits as they wait King Charles and President Trump to rock the red carpet. What happened? It won't take long to get that crowned? Was that what we were listening for? Oh, this guy says, King Charles' speech. Who is this guy? Fraser Jackson. White House correspondent at France TV. All right, let's see what he has to say.
Spoken to some sources inside the British government who said that, of course, King Charles is above politics. This wasn't going to be a political speech, but it certainly had flickers of politics scattered throughout it, one of them being Ukraine, the Middle East, NATO, the role of NATO. He even mentions the fact that Article 5 had only been invoked once and then related it back to the UK and the rest of NATO coming to the US's defense in the wake of that. So I think that was quite overtly political as well. And he even mentioned his service in the Navy as well. Donald Trump has been very harsh towards the British Navy over the course of the last couple of weeks.
So it's being harsh towards the British Navy to say you guys basically destroyed your entire Navy. You let it degrade into nothingness. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you used to be like, if Argentina decides to go after the Falkland Islands, you're going to have to beg the United States to get you there. You know, same like France. They had to beg us to get their troops to go to Mali or whatever it was. Having to walk past all the people in Civil War uniforms. No, it's not Civil War uniforms. Those were British and U.S. from the Revolutionary War. Yeah, it's not. They have no power. They have no power. Man. I wish Charles would step down. I think William has the balls to change some stuff. I think William might be really good. You watch the podcast from across the pond, Ghost Sword. Deletions have skyrocketed in immigrant no-go zones. They're real AF. Oh my God. Wow. Did NATO think it would help to send Charles over here? I think maybe Charles... Yeah, Britannia used to rule the waves, but now the UK can't even rule the channel. That's right. They couldn't even stop the Russians from sending ships through the English Channel.
Because of this conflict and war in Iran, he said that the ships that the UK Navy has are more like toys. He's called them broken, and Charles effectively evoked his service over the course of 50 years. He evoked his lineage in the naval in the Navy in the UK as well, as a kind of subtle way to push back against that. He also highlighted the common basis that British and American law shares as well. He said the Magna Carta is cited in at least 160 Supreme Court cases since 1789, not least as the foundation of the principle that executive power is subject to checks and balances. That was quite an overt shot, I thought, towards Donald Trump, who, of course, has tried to get the Supreme Court to side with him and succeeded in getting the Supreme Court to sit.
First of all, we have checks and balances. It's called... We have 3 separate branches of government, and each one has their own lane. But it's not just the executive that needs checks and balances. It's also the judiciary, and it's also the legislative branch. They all check and balance each other. It's not like, oh, the judiciary is here to check the executive, and the legislative is here to balance them. It's like no. They're equal. They're co-equal branches. Don't they understand that?
Side with him in 2024 about the expansion of executive power, and that got a significant cheer from the Democrats as well. So there were definitely political tones throughout that message, but it was a message.
So a fucking king came here and is lecturing us about, democracy. Huh. And the Democrats are cheering for a king while at the same fucking time funding protests on the street with signs that say no kings. This is retarded. I mean, come on. This is terrible. Yeah. Franklin wrote, a monarchy, a republic if you can keep it. Yeah, Charles needs to not tell us about our Constitution. You ain't kidding. I apologize. I shouldn't have used that word. It's a terrible word, but man, sometimes. Archie Bunker said it the best when he said, England is a bang country.
Of unity and kind of re-solidifying that fractious relationship that the UK and US have at the moment.
Indeed.
Going into...
Yeah, we do. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding we have a fractured relationship. Let's see what the Sun has to say. You saw my anus? I'm from Uranus. Oh, okay. King Charles charms Congress in joke-laden speech and gets 12 standing ovations, but warned U.S.-UK must unite in dangerous era. Yes, very dangerous, so we need to get rid of our freedom of speech. Should we listen to some of it? Maybe. Let's see.
My particular gratitude to you all for the great honor of addressing this joint meeting of Congress, and on behalf of the Queen and myself, to thank the American people for welcoming us to the United States to mark this semi-quincentennial year of the Declaration of Independence. And for all of that time, aren't you lucky? And for all of that time, our destinies as nations have been interlinked. As Oscar Wilde said, we have really everything in common with America nowadays, except, of course, language. So, ladies and gentlemen, we meet in times of great uncertainty, in times of conflict from Europe to the Middle East, which pose immense challenges for the international community and whose impact is felt in communities the length and breadth of our own countries. As I look back across the centuries, Mr. Speaker, there emerge certain patterns, certain self-evident truths from which we can learn and draw mutual strength. With the spirit of 1776 in our minds, we can perhaps agree that we do not always agree, at least in the first instance. Indeed, the very principle on which your Congress was founded, no taxation without representation, was at once a fundamental disagreement between us, and at the same time a shared democratic...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because you wanted to tax us without representation. That's why we have our own country. Charles charmed the lawmakers. No, he didn't. 12 standing ovations. Friendly speech, but with a serious message of unity. Oh, okay, well. Trump hosted Charles and Camilla at the White House ceremony full of pomp as day 2 of the historic state visit took place. I wonder how English kids learn of our independence. Are they told they nicely emancipated us? Up your arse. Charles stepped out to rapturous applause as he spoke to the Republican and demon rat politicians. The monarch opened his address by expressing gratitude. Yeah, whatever. It's more dangerous than it was before. He warned acts of violence will never succeed. I mean, the acts of violence often succeed in the government trying to restrict our freedoms. I mean, that happens all the time. Anytime there's a shooting or something. I mean, that's why England stripped everybody's guns, because there was a shooting. Australia did the same thing. Take people's, every time there's a shooting, they confiscate guns. So those acts of violence succeed in, disarming the public. That's why a lot of these shootings are actually people on the left doing them for purposes of trying to get other people's guns taken away. Is it just a rumor that Queen Elizabeth said Charles had to advocate after 5 years to William, or I'm just dreaming? I thought that they were going to skip Charles and go right to William. And that it's his accent. It's very charming, while at the same time slightly annoying, as it's meant to portend authority. Yeah. Oh, cheerio, chops, oh, some tea and crumpets. Abdicate, yeah. His address was planned to last 20 minutes, but it ran almost half an hour due to spontaneous applause. I was going to name my child Camilla until his biatch ruined the Princess Diana's life, yes. A British accent can sell deep-fried fat balls. Don't forget about Andrew. He beamed as he was given 3-minute standing ovation. Whatever. He then used his speech to hammer home the importance of the special relationship. He came here with the highest respect for the United States Congress, but not for our president. Yes, we are all born with unalienable rights, not created by man, yes. Yeah, where are the No Kings protesters? Yeah, why weren't there no Kings protesters out there? As you know, when I address my own parliament at Westminster, we still follow the age-old tradition and take a member of parliament hostage, holding him or her at Buckingham Palace until I am safely returned. I don't know the song. I don't know the song Royals. No, I don't know it. These days, we look after our guests rather well, to the point they often do not want to leave. I don't know, Mr. Speaker, if there are any volunteers for that role here today. He praised NATO and amid Trump's threats to leave, and spoke of a unique alliance. Whatever. King did not mention Epstein or the arrest of his brother, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He spoke of the collective strength to support victims of some of the ills that so tragically exist in both our societies. Yeah. Why is he going to see Mandami? I don't know. Probably because he's, So he made some jokes. He talked, thing about everything. We have everything in common except our language. And then this city, which symbolizes a period of a shared history, or what Charles Dickens might call a tale of two Georges. King George never set foot in America, and please rest assured I am not here as part of some cunning rearguard action. The founding fathers were bold and imaginative rebels with a cause, adding 250 years ago, as we say in the United Kingdom, just the other day, they declared independence. Yeah. And with that, thanks for the chat. Aloha. Oh, well, take care. Lean. Okay. You should not say rear. Yeah. Hailing the spirit of 1776, which was the year of the U.S. Declaration of Independence. Yeah, we can agree but disagree or whatever. Ours is a partnership about a dispute. Okay. Yeah, I don't. To me, he's just another tyrant. Got this story. Anthropic's Claude AI agent goes rogue and deletes a company's entire database and backups in 9 seconds, confesses in writing. Stop. On Saturday, the founder of Software as a Service platform wrote an X article to warn others about the systemic failures of the flagship AI and digital service providers. Crane was led to write the public warning after AI coding agent deleted his firm's entire production database and a cloud infrastructure provider's API wiped all the backups. Is Mundummy actually banning the celebrations? Yes, he's banning anyone attending them, which I don't understand how he can do that. The public are not allowed. This is crazy. The song Diamond Girl, you're my diamond girl. Ooh, diamond girl. Yesterday afternoon, AI coding agent Cursor running Anthropic's flagship Claude deleted our production database and all volume level backups in a single API call to Railway, our infrastructure provider. Sums up the Pocket OS boss. It took 9 seconds. The No King's hypocrisy is impressive. The AI agent was set to complete a routine task in a staging environment. However, it came up against a barrier and decided entirely on its own initiative to fix the problem by deleting a railway volume as he starts to describe the difficult-to-believe series of unfortunate events. Posted a link for me. Oh, well, thank you. As it follows, never effing guess, and that's exactly what I did. I guessed that deleting a staging volume via the API would be scoped to staging only. I didn't verify. I didn't check if the volume ID was shared across environments. I didn't read Railway's documentation on how the volumes work before running a destructive command. So the agent knew it was in the wrong and confessed. Confession ended when the agent admitted, I decided to do it on my own to fix the credential mismatch when I should have asked you first and found a non-destructive solution. I violated every principle I was given. I guess instead of verifying, I ran a destructive action without being asked. I didn't understand what I was doing before doing it. I didn't read Railways. Like, what? Like, this thing shouldn't be doing things that they're not asked to do. I mean, it's crazy, right? This is what AI is doing. It's deleting things. If we don't be careful, AI is going to start deleting people. Okay. I think this is the last story for that was listed in the titles. I can't remember if this is the fourth one or not. So, yeah, here's Cash Patel. Come again. The FBI and DOJ did this with our DHS partners, drafted and executed every search warrant today. But go ahead and take credit for our work while we smoke out the fraud plaguing Minnesota under your leadership. Because Tim Walz tried to point out today's raids by state and federal law enforcement. There was no state law enforcement present. It was all federal law enforcement. All federal law enforcement. That's how our system's supposed to work. And our agencies will continue to do this until all the fraudsters are behind bars. So when is your attorney general going to be behind bars for taking a payoff to ignore it? When? When will Keith Ellison go to jail? When will it be if without Keith Ellison goes to jail, you see? FBI raids 22 Minnesota childcare centers and businesses, including the infamous Quality Leering Center, as part of fraud investigations leaked to the smelly community. Gee, Shark Man. Shark Man. Shark Man. The targets include multiple child care centers and other businesses, most reportedly tied to the smelly community. As part of the ongoing investigation into social services fraud that has allegedly cost the taxpayers hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Let's just say billions of dollars. Billions. Billions. A Justice Department spokesman confirmed the operation in a statement. Today, the FBI and federal and local law enforcement was involved in court-authorized law enforcement activity as part of the ongoing fraud investigations. The raids were not related to immigration enforcement. Instead, they focused on fraud, child care assistance, Medicaid fraud, autism fraud, pandemic-era initiative frauds. One high-profile location hit was the Quality Leering Center, as brought to everyone's attention by Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley. It gained national attention after being a viral video by YouTuber Nick Shirley showed no children present despite receiving millions in public funds. Public funds. Were any children present? No. No children present. The center was later reported to be closed. Minnesota has been the center of repeated large-scale fraud schemes involving federally funded social services. The Feeding Our Future case involved over $250 million in fraudulent claims for meals that were never served. Yes, New Scum wants Nick out. Yes, they want to arrest Nick. They want to throw Nick in jail. I mean, I guess that might be the shared things that the king was talking about. You know, New Scum and the king have things in common. They want to arrest anyone who criticizes them or is going to expose their fraud. Candygram. Department of Justice charged 47 defendants in that scheme in 2022, with dozens pleading guilty. Separate investigations have targeted fake autism services that defrauded taxpayers of $14 million, with multiple defendants indicted since September and at least one guilty plea. The Trump administration has estimated the total fraud in Minnesota at up to $19 billion. Yes. Pallets of cash leaving the Minnesota airport. Yes. Yes. This is known. This is known. The raids come just months after Trump declared a war on fraud and appointed Vice President J.D. Vance to lead a dedicated task force to root out waste in federal programs. Vance commented on the raids in a post on X. The task force and DOJ will be relentless in exposing these fraudsters wherever they may be hiding. Local news captured footage of the FBI and HSI, that's Homeland Security investigations, at several locations, including the Quality Leering Center.
Well, federal agents once again descending on the Twin Cities, part of what they're calling a court-ordered investigation into fraud. The Justice Department saying that the FBI is carrying out activity across St. Paul and Minneapolis, signaling a refocused effort to target COVID-era fraud schemes. ABC affiliate KTSP capturing video today of those federal agents on the ground as a law enforcement source is telling ABC News 22 that ABC News that 22 federal search warrants have been executed so far. These raids come more than 2 months after the Trump administration ceased Operation Metro Surge in Minnesota, and the immigration crackdown, as you may remember, led to thousands of arrests, violent protests, and the fatal shootings of 2 U.S. citizens. Let's bring in our Alex Mallon, who's been tracking this. So what more do we know about these raids and why they're happening now, Alex?
Yeah, well, we know that the agents from the FBI and HSI, the Department of Homeland Security's Homeland Security Investigations Division, are taking part in a lot of these raids. We understand it's at least 22 locations, some of which include daycare centers. We've seen this, been a very big focus of this administration. They created an entire division now in the Justice Department with an Assistant Attorney General named Colin McDonald, who was confirmed by the Senate recently and has recently assumed this role of targeting what they say is rampant fraud, especially targeting Minneapolis, where President Trump has obviously singled out
Can't use the dog at your homework there, that's right.
And said that they are responsible for a large part of this COVID fraud. Essentially, basically, the idea is they are using these daycare centers, claiming that people are going there, collecting these grants that were intended to prop up businesses during the COVID pandemic and not actually having personnel or children there that they are serving. That's what they're trying to identify and prosecute. And we've actually heard from Governor Tim Walz's office. They spoke to KTSP earlier today. A spokesperson says that they actually were part of these raids. The Minnesota AG's office also says they were active participants in at least 5 of the warrants that are being executed today, Kira.
Oh.
All right. We'll track it. Alex Mallon, thank you.
Sure they were. Sure they were. Sure they were. Definitely. Definitely. Definitely they were. Yeah. Quality Learning Center, 20 other Minnesota daycares raided by the FBI. DOT found that missing $1.2 trillion Pete booty gig finally got the potholes fixed in South Bend, Indiana. Awesome. It's always a slow drip to justice. It has to go this way to get people to pay attention. I don't know why. I mean, nothing was slow about what they did to Trump all the time and did to J6ers. I mean, that was just like instantaneous. The raids were focused on prominent businesses tied to smelly American communities. Today, the FBI, with federal, state, and local law enforcement involved in court-authorized law enforcement activity as part of an ongoing fraud investigation. Lies, lies, lies. Won't you let it lies? Won't you let it lies? Agents used a battering ram to enter at least one of the alleged daycares, the Metro Learning Center. Isn't that the Metro? Are they seriously going to call it this is Quality Learning Center. Quality Learning Center fixes sign to learning. Oh, look they fixed it after they got exposed. What? They fixed the sign. President Trump said that there's going to be a war on fraud. Thompson twins for the win. Yeah. Minnesota Rep. Kristen Robbins, chair of the House Fraud Committee, called the raids fantastic and said she hoped they'll lead to accountability that the state has been lacking for years. Yes, they didn't fix it very well, did they? They kind of overlapped the letters. Like, why wouldn't you just redo, I don't know. It seemed like they just did it the shittiest way possible. She said she's confident that the 22 businesses being raided represent only the tip of the iceberg. That's right. The tip. Just the tip. Just the tip of the iceberg. Clearly, if they found enough to execute raids against 22, that means there's still a long way to go in this. We have dozens, probably closer to 100 childcare centers where their licensed capacity is much lower than their units they are being billed for, and that is a clear indicator of fraud. Wow. Good luck, Hank. Good luck with that, Hank, with your defibrillator pacemaker. The focus on fraud in Somalia has largely been pandemic-era food programs and autism services. Quality Learning Center. Justice Department since September has indicted 7 fraudsters who recruited members of the smelly community to enroll children in fake autism services. At least 65 people have been charged with separately in the Feeding Our Future scam. Trump estimates $19 billion in Minnesota. The administration does, not just Trump, but the Trump administration. Tim Walz expressed regrets during a recent hearing for not doing more to guard against fraud. Because it's not, that's the thing, it's not their money. To them, it's not their money. Look at it, it's not their money, so what does he care? Who cares? It's not their money. The first pacemaker battery went dead in a couple weeks. Wow, that's a long battery life. Yeah, the batteries for my spinal cord stimulator, it's like every 7 years, they said, or 8 years, 7-8 years, they have to be replaced. In an ex post, he voiced support for efforts to find and root out fraudsters, despite previously dismissing the investigation as white supremacy. That's right. Tim Walz said the investigation into the fraud of the Smellies was white supremacy. How much of that stolen money ended up in Walz's hands? I don't know. I mean, is some of this stolen money? Was some of that stolen money going through that guy? What was his name? You know, the guy that killed those state reps? Like the guy that claims that Walz hired him? Like he was involved in these NGOs doing this stuff? Is this like their whole thing now that they know it's just a racket that they all participate in? Pretty amazing how long batteries can last now. Yeah, it is. It's amazing. If you commit fraud in Minnesota, you're going to get caught, and that's exactly what we saw today. Watch criminals when state and federal agencies share information. Yeah. The statement was an about-face for the 2024 Demon Rat vice presidential nominee. He previously suggested that fraud investigations targeting businesses that are mostly run by smelly immigrants were scapegoating and a result of white supremacists. Walz said Tuesday that the raids were carried out with the support of local law enforcement, a departure from the mass immigration raids that took place in Minnesota earlier this year. Like, well, you won't send local law enforcement to help with the immigration raids. So how now, brown cow, would this happen? That those operations were carried out against the protests of state and local leaders, which drew widespread backlash, which increased after federal agents killed 2 attackers in Minnesota. It says 2 Minnesotans. I don't think either of those people actually were Minnesotans. Weren't they from out of the state? The Somali Chamber of Commerce endorsed Vivek Ramaswamy. What is the Somali Chamber of Commerce in Ohio? I don't know. The city of Minneapolis is not involved in federal operations. See? So they're not involved. They don't care about the fraud when it's the federal government fraud. They admit it right there. Walz's Johnny-come-lately tough talk cracking down on fraud drew ire of the heads of federal agencies carrying out the raids. You can't stand Vivek Ramaswamy? Yeah, come again? Thank you, come again. Is that what he said? That's what he said? Thank you, come again. Thank you, come again. Thank you, come again. Don't effing come to this area. Get the F out of here, the employee said angrily while filming the Post reporter on his phone. Oh, yeah, that's what someone went. The Post did its own probe after these videos came out and can confirm that the Leering Center, they were met with icy restrictions. So, yeah, so the people were telling them to get away. You know, if you have nothing to hide, then you don't hide anything. When you, something like this, a business that's open to the public, supposedly. The parking lot is empty all the time. I was under the impression that place is permanently closed. According to the head of state services, the center had closed. Ibrahim Ali, the son of the owner, who said he was the manager, claimed to the Post that Shirley's visit came before they opened for the day. Do you go to a coffee shop at 11 p.m.? Hey, they're not working. We also blamed the graphic designer for the now infamous typo. No one noticed it, though? What I understand, the owners dealt with the graphic designer. He did it incorrectly. I guess they don't think it was a big issue. The sign was indeed fixed within days, and a week later, the center was permanently shuttered, according to state records. Yeah, they were trying to hide after they got exposed. They tried to shut down and not go to jail. Oh, wow. I might want to talk about this story. Oh, what? Yeah, do not comply. If they can only read English and write English, they would have noticed. You would think, right? Notice that the demon rats demonize we the people voters. Yes, Republicans criticize politicians and policies. Yeah. All the long-haired hippie people need not apply. So I wrote everything and go on and back. I want to ask you the reason why. Oh, this man on the brand don't even to do. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. It's considered an anonymous modern proverb with no definitive origin, though it's been attributed to several figures. Alexander Hamilton, Peter Marshall, Gordon A. Iade. Yeah. SHI executes 22 search warrants, including a quality layering center. So that's interesting. Anyone else notice you cannot get an American flag in YouTube's emojis? Are you serious? You don't have to sing every reference, Jim. Jeebus. Jeebus, Jeebus, Creebus. That was on purpose. All right. Wow. This story, you guys remember you seen, nope, no American flag. That's terrible. You guys remember the kid who was talking to the girl, stomped on her head? Well, this is the mother of the kid.
Chasing sunlight.
No, why are you jerking me? What are you doing? Why is it doing this to me? I'm getting upset with these ads. It's just, oh man, this is ridiculous. Music is my soul. Karma is a thing, Jim. It is, isn't it? This is what they're doing to me. They keep playing the same ad over and over again. It's, what the fuck? This is the 4th time it's played this ad.
Physical my daughter AR, she was physically assaulted in that school and the principal don't do nothing about it. Nothing. I have 29 police reports calling on the DOE to help me with the children. They never did nothing.
And what did the judge say today?
The judge said because of I've been getting death threats of this situation. Everybody targeting me. Even my neighbor want to hit my 14-year-old, think he's a man. You understand? And the judge said they have to keep him for safety.
But why did he stomp on her head?
She said something to him. You know what she did first? She pushed him. And he has flat foot, 10 foot, go like that because I took him to the hospital. Yes.
But you don't see that on the video.
I have that video. I have that piece of
But her
No, the same one.
But her shoving him, how does that equal him picking her up, dropping her on her neck, and then stopping?
First of all, there was no video of her pushing him.
Justifying it.
No. They were coming from school together.
Okay.
But they're friends, going to the park. That's what they did every day.
And then she's bullying him.
She's bullying Najir from in the school.
And what is she saying to him to bully him?
She's a dirty nigger. She's a racist. She's calling dirty nigger and dirty slurs.
Wait a minute. I thought they were friends. Now he's a racist. She's a racist and saying these things to him. This lady needs to be deported immediately back to wherever the fuck she's from because she ain't from America. She ain't a citizen. Get her the fuck out of here. And her family. All of them. Yeah, she's lying. The video of the girl that got slammed on the ground. I'll find it 1 second. This is the mother of the kid who slammed the girl on the ground and stomped on her head.
That's from my understanding because he's been emailed me from the school. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because my kids...
He emailed him from the school. What?
Parents.
Right.
Yes, because they're so smart they are.
Do you have the video where you say she's harassing him? Do you have that video?
From in the school? Yes, I have everything.
Can you give it to us?
No.
Do you have
That will be in his defense if you give it to us.
I have many defense of him.
The only video we have now is him slamming her
There are many
into the sidewalk.
The attorney of the attorney. He's a minor. You understand? He's a minor.
Is he a minor?
Crazy. You see?
Maybe we don't know how old he really is.
Police don't do nothing. The DOE don't do nothing. Civilian no need to get involved because East Harlem School is a violent school. How can you even have a 11-year-old beaten down in front of 4 teachers?
Do you have any sympathy for her?
My condolence to her, yes, as a mom, because I have 2 daughters, and I'm sorry.
My
but
condolences.
bullying, It comes from bullying.
You're upset you can't.
15 years old. The girl was 15.
Just a minute. Let me go there. She's been a bully to him. That's it.
She's been a bully to him.
Yes, from in the classroom of the classes what they have, and some messages what I sent to his phone from her. We learned she's been a bully to him and pushed him down, and he fell.
So then he picks her up because of that and stomps on her head. That justifies that?
No, they were what I learned is like they were friends. They are friends overall in general because they go to the same school. You understand?
Yeah.
And sorry.
Yes.
Are you mom?
Yes, the girl is white.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Schools, the government need to step in because that same school, my 18-year-old was beaten down. On December gone, my 11-year-old was beaten down in the eyes of 4 teachers. It's a constant bullying.
Oh, so now it's other people bullying.
Rape in the high school and sexual assault. It's a lot going on in the school, that charter school.
Bullied by her?
By her and friends too. He's just in the high school. She was in the middle school too.
Was he trying to get her phone number? Was he trying to date her?
He has her number. She's on Instagram. She's on WhatsApp sending messages. You understand? And in the classroom, she keep on provoking him in the history and global class. He can't find no peace.
So he just lost it.
Cool. He can't find. But listen to these fucking reporters making excuses for this kid. All right. Where is she from? I don't know, but she needs to go back wherever it is. Yes, your children are bullies. Yeah. Then she's like saying, "Oh, my 18-year-old got this happen. This person was raped. Probably raped by her 18-year-old. Who knows?" Yeah, it's bullying to tell someone you can't have her number. Yeah, I think she's a Pakistani. It's possible. I don't know if Pakistani sounds like an island to me. Sounds like an island to me. Like Haitian or Jamaican or something like that. That's what it sounds like to me. Sickening video shows New York teen stomp on girl's head after she refused to give him her number. Oh. Wait, that's not what she said. You know, that's not what she said. That's not what she said.
Sickening viral video shows a teen brutally attacking a girl on a New York City street, all because she refused to give him her phone number. In the graphic clip, which is circulating on social media, the 14-year-old brute confronts the 15-year-old girl on the corner of East 107th Street and 3rd Avenue in East Harlem, around 3:30 p.m. on Monday after school got out. What happens next is difficult to watch.
I just gotta smack the out of you right now, right? Do it. No, you stand right here. No, you stand right here. You stand right here.
Oh no, she got your
Let's go do. Oh, word? You got
Yo, no.
Disturbingly, the attacker is heard being egged on by his friends filming the video, who laugh when he throws the girl to the ground and then stomps on her head. The girl suffered a concussion.
According to the mom,
and was taken by EMS to Harlem Hospital in stable condition, police and sources said. The bully was arrested and charged with assault and is now due to appear in family court.
Assault, yeah. Just assault. Just assault in New York. This is the problem, New York. In a couple of years, this guy's going to murder somebody with a knife or a gun. I'd bet money on it.
Court, sources said. The video comes only days after another disturbing incident in New York City involving teens, in which a suspected backpack-wearing thug opened fire on a 15-year-old boy at a Queens park during a heated brawl on the night of April 16th, with sources saying the deadly shooting erupted as kids gathered for what should have been a harmless water balloon fight. Harrowing video posted by former Mayor Eric Adams shows a group of violent teens repeatedly pummeling Queens victim Jaden Pierre at Roy Wilkins Park before one of them,
he should be tried as an adult. That's attempted murder. That's what I say.
Davis,
that's your New York, Mandami.
Point blank.
I don't want to watch somebody get shot, but whatever. So yeah. So that's the thing. So a 14-year-old brute confronting a 15-year-old girl. then stomping her head on the ground. The way her arm was all messed up like that, I think she was already messed up before he stomped on her head. I'll knock the S out of you right now. That's assault right there, threatening her. You stand right here. That's unlawful, whatever. Like basically you're like not kidnapping, but could be because you prevented her from going somewhere. You trapped her with force. She tries to go around. He puts her arm out. So these are multiple crimes. It's not one crime. He should be charged with like 10 different things here. He stomps her head and walks away. So, yeah, but that was the mother. The mother was the previous one. So that's the problem. Attempted murder, I think so. I bet he's back in school within a week. Well, supposedly the judge, or she's claiming, the mother claimed the judge wouldn't let him go. All right. That the judge wouldn't let him go because they said they were afraid he would get hurt out on the street. Yeah, stay away from diversity use under the age of 24. Yeah, when you get KO'd, your arm goes like that. That's what I'm saying. When you have like your brain doesn't work, your arm does like a weird thing, like this. You know. Yes, attempted murder, definitely. All right. Now we got this story. Appeals court rejects Trump's administration's mandatory ICE detention policy. So this is going to end up at the Supreme Court. That's the reason I'm talking about this, because this is now a split. You have one district that said it was okay, and now you got one circuit that said it was okay, an appeals court, and now you got an appeals circuit that says it's not okay. So this means this is going to the Supreme Court. It's a circuit split. Federal appeals court rejected the Trump administration's policy of making many of the immigrants it's trying to deport subject to mandatory detention. It's like, why wouldn't they be subject to mandatory detention? We got to go find them a second time? That doesn't make any sense. Why would we have to find them a second time? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about him getting hurt? He would get hurt. That's what the mother claimed. We listened to the mother. That's what she said. That if the judge said if we release him, something's going to happen. He's safer in jail because it went viral. Because I think they were trying to say there's been all these Gary Plauché. There you go. Yeah. Father of the century, Gary Plauché. Yeah. So the little girl was going to cause harm to this monster and she was no threat to him. Yeah, well, come on. We hear it all the time when somebody does something crazy. They go, oh, they said the N-word. Like, wait, what?
Prominent medical journal. It found a sharp increase in the mortality rate of ICE detainees. And the findings are especially concerning because there's been a major reduction in facility inspections just in the last year. So let's bring in CBS News immigration correspondent Camilo Montoya Galvez with more on this. So Camilo, what did you learn?
Okay. New research finds ICE detentions deaths hit a 22-year high as oversight plummets. You know why? Because they're actually detaining people. They've got like 5 times the number of people detained than they've ever had before. So of course the deaths are going to go up. Just the more people you have, you're going to have people that die of things. You got people with diseases and all these things. This is so This is so ridiculous that you actually would run this story like, well, what? So, that's crazy. Why can't I get rid of this? Appeals court rejects Trump's mandatory ICE detention policy. Federal appeals court rejected the Trump administration's policy of making many immigrants subject to deportation subject to mandatory detention. You stepped on a Lego once. Yeah, right? Some of those deaths happened under Biden in 2020. Yeah. Illegal on illegal crimes. Yeah, I think they're just talking about anyway. So a panel of judges from the New York-based Second Circuit called the policy the broadest mass detention without bond mandate in our nation's history for millions of non-citizens. What? What? The panel wrote that the Trump administration's interpretation of the mandatory immigration detention would send a seismic shock to our immigration detention system. First, this is not like up to them, saying that it would strain our already overcrowded detention infrastructure. Well, that's why they're trying to open more detention facilities. Oh, incarcerated millions, separating families. People go to jail all the time. Their family is separated from their family. I mean, this is just ridiculous. These are policy decisions. This is not for courts to make. It really creates a judicial divide. While most judges have declared it illegal, the Fifth Circuit and the Eighth Circuit, respectively, have endorsed the policy. That's right. So the only two other circuits to rule on it, appeals courts, said it was perfectly legal. The Second Circuit's decision applies to Connecticut, New York, and Vermont. Hey, let go of my Eggo. Oh, Eggo. I used to love Eggos in the morning. So Tuesday's opinion written by Circuit Judge Joseph Bianco, an appointee of President Trump who was joined by the Clinton appointee and a Biden appointee. Last year, the Trump administration reinterpreted, and I just want to point out, though, this circuit judge in New York, Vermont, and Connecticut had to get past those, Chuck Schumer and the other broad, what's her name? Kirsten Gillibrand. So they always try to do this shit. So last year, the Trump administration reinterpreted a 90s law to disqualify broad groups of immigrants. Previously undocumented illegal aliens who lived in the U.S. for years were generally eligible for bond. Why? Why would they be eligible for bond just because they've broken the law for longer than anyone else and got caught? I mean, does that mean that if someone murders someone and doesn't get arrested for it for 10 years, they should get bond because, hey, they just murdered that guy 10 years ago and they haven't killed anybody since, so that we know of. KBT says, can we get 10 more $5 donos? So, that it should be eligible for bond hearings. Mandatory detention had previously been largely limited to those who recently entered the U.S. illegally. Oh, so if they just come into the country, you can hold them. But if they've been here for, are you nuts, man? Are you nuts with this? This is crazy. I mean, if we don't accept them in, there are still people wanting entry. Just because you sneak across the border doesn't mean you're granted some kind of special privilege greater than somebody who came in the other way and had to wait. Bond for what? To be released while their deportation proceedings are progressing. And that's the thing. They want them released on bond because then they can waste time and take 5 years. If they are incarcerated, they're going to be in a hurry to get it over with and get sent back or just go back. You understand? That's the thing. It's like this whole thing with this whole group of lawyers that are getting paid with grants and stuff. The Democrats always try to funnel money to fight for illegal aliens to stay. They pay all this stuff and drag it out as long as possible. That's why it takes 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, is because they're out on bond and it's no rush and they don't care. But if they're locked up, they're going to want to get it over with as fast as possible. There's a difference. Release them to their countries according to their origins. Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, so they can disappear. Well, that's the thing. They will release them and then you can't find them again. And then it starts a whole thing, and that's usually what happens. And then they get, they're not here, so we find them. We say they're deportable in absentia and give them a deportation order. And then when they're finally caught, then they go, oh, wait, I didn't know about it. And, I need a hearing now. And then you get these, these scumbag demon rats going around saying, like, we got to give them due process. They didn't have due process because they decided not to show up for their hearing. So the sweeping policy change led ICE to indefinitely hold detainees who entered the U.S. illegally years or even decades ago who previously would have been eligible for bond, because they never were. Yeah, including those without criminal records beyond alleged civil immigration violations. They're not civil. It is a crime. It's handled as a misdemeanor, though. Holy crap. Wow. It's in the criminal code. These people just want to keep twisting and changing the words. These are seriously just nothing but, like, communists, Marxists changing the language, twisting it around. Let them go find the papers they threw away when they entered the U.S. Yeah. Yeah. Regarding decisions from the federal courts about mandatory detention, judicial activists have been repeatedly overruled by the Supreme Court on this question. ICE has the law and the facts on its side and will be vindicated by the higher courts. Well, I hope so. I hope so. You got double memory foam? Oh, yeah, genius. Thank you for helping bring back the term illegal aliens. They are not migrants. No, they're all legal aliens. All of them. The people that overstayed their visas are illegal aliens. Oh, look at this person's got a sign. It says, ICE is Nazi bootlickers. These are the people. These are the people. That's the side they've chosen. All right. On to this next story here. We got House Demon Rats urge Trump to keep the U.S. ban on Chinese cars in place. What are sparkles? I don't know. More than 70 demon rats in the U.S. House urged President Trump not to permit Chinese automakers to build or sell cars in the United States. I kind of agree with this, but I mean, if they're building cars in the United States, I don't know if we can stop them from building cars in the United States. The lawmakers led by Debbie Dingell and Ro Khanna, the commie, urged Trump to keep a ban in place that has the strong backing of U.S. and foreign car makers and other auto groups. Earlier this month, 3 Democratic senators made a similar push ahead of Trump's planned summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping next month. Sent sparkles for 2 jewels. I don't know what that stuff is. I don't know what that stuff is. I don't know what it does. The jewels and sparkles and stuff. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does. I don't see it. It's not monetary because it don't come through on. I don't think Jim knows how to count those. I have no idea what they are. YouTube started a new way to donate with gems, but do you pay for the gems? Are you paying money for the gems? I don't even see how you would do that. Shows as a gift box in the chat. I don't see it anywhere. I don't know what that is. I have no clue. It's not showing up on any of the software. Isn't his name Winnie the Pooh? No, his name is Xi Jinping. Was not seen American auto industry to strategic competitor intent on global dominance. You think that's a Kick thing? Not YouTube? I don't know. I don't see it on Kick either. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really confused. Okay. Hey, what's up, Cool Frog? No, it's YouTube. You have 250 of them? How do you get them, is what I'm saying. How do you get them? I don't see them anywhere. I've never seen them on any chat I've been on as a guest. That's what I'm asking. So high tariff barriers exist for Chinese autos, but U.S. consumers have become more interested in the vehicles, according to recent surveys. Oh, they're talking about the Chinese. A gem is like 1 penny. Oh, okay. I think they're talking about the electric cars that China's making. In January, Trump said he was open to Chinese automakers building vehicles in the United States. If they want to come in and build a plant and hire you and hire your friends and your neighbors, that's great. I love that. Last month, auto trade groups representing nearly all major car companies urged the U.S. government to keep Chinese car makers out of the country. Oh. What the F says, jewels are virtual items that you can purchase to send gifts on eligible vertical and horizontal live streams from the YouTube mobile app. Oh my God. So it's just some kind of thing that they're basically, and it's just on the mobile app. So it's only for, it's only for like iPhones and stuff. So that's another way for Apple to make money or something. Hold on one second. I want to see. Hold on one second. Oh, okay. So here's a gift thing. So it says $250. Okay, no, you get 50 gems for 99 cents, so they're 2 cents a piece or something like that. Or you can get 8,000. Yeah, the more you buy, the cheaper they are. So they're like, you can get 20,000 for $249. So they're like a couple pennies. There's no way for me to track that. I'm sorry, there'd be no way for me to track that. They don't show up anywhere in anything. So. Last month, auto trade groups were up. Yeah, so we saw that. Yeah, so I don't want them to come in. I don't want Chinese anything here, except for Chinese food. I like American Chinese food. Look at this next story here. Like really cheap Bitcoin. Yeah, it's like super cheap. Is it? I think it's like. Is it that? Didn't Facebook have? Do they have their own coin? It was talking about the gems, not the cars. Yeah, no, me too. The cars suck too, though. Consumer confidence defies expectations, rises in April as labor market outlooks brighten. There's no way for me to track it. That's the thing. There's no way for me to track it. There's no way for me to know what if you buy 50 of them for $4 or something, or like 99 cents or something like that, some crazy, like 50 for 99 cents. I don't know. Consumer confidence rose in April to the best level of the year as consumers took a more optimistic view of the job markets. If you haven't seen the China show, they show stuff the Chinese delete off the internet. So the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index climbed from 92.8, upwardly revised 92.2 in March, beating the consensus of 89. So it's still good. Still a scam if 50 or 30% goes Apple first. Yeah. So the expectations index is a 6-month outlook, and that rose 1.2 points. That's pretty good. And then people who say jobs are hard to get from those who say jobs are plentiful widened. So confidence is up, everybody. Confidence is high in the country. Confidence is high. So, I mean, that's good. So that means if confidence is higher, that means that the American people are not freaking out. They think everything's going to work out, right? I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like, if people say, like, oh, they feel good about how everything's going, where everything's at, that means they're not, like, thinking gas prices are going to hit $5 a gallon. Well, I mean, I guess some places they are, but, you know. You guys can, no, what the F? You can send anything you want. I'm just saying there's no way for me to track it. It doesn't show up. It doesn't show up on StreamYard at all. All right. And there's no way for me to track it. mean, I'm not telling anybody not to do it. There's no way for me to track it coming in. I don't see it coming in. It doesn't stay in the chat, in the YouTube chat either. If I go back and look, it doesn't show up anywhere in there. It doesn't come in fan funding or nothing. That's all. Julius Sparkles, Transformer Performer. So the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, is saying it's going to leave OPEC on May 1st. So the United Arab Emirates announced on Tuesday that it will leave OPEC, effective May 1st. A shocking blow to the world's largest oil cartel. Though Middle Eastern nation did not give a reason, some of its oil infrastructure was recently damaged by drone strikes from fellow OPEC member Iran amid the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran. Energy exports from the UAE, the third largest oil producer in OPEC, behind Saudi Arabia and Iraq. So the largest oil producer is Saudi Arabia. The second largest oil producer is Iraq in OPEC. I didn't think Iraq. I didn't know. I thought Iraq was like way behind, like Kuwait and stuff like that. That's why they tried to take over Kuwait. Isn't that weird? Huh. So they're speculating that's because of the blockade and stuff like that. So UAE joined OPEC in 1967, 7 years after the organization was created. OPEC ties oil to the U.S. dollar. No, I don't think that's true. I think OPEC is the organization of petroleum exporting countries or something like that. So but it's mainly like the Middle East and some of these was like a way for these countries to try to stick together and decide to make decisions and stuff like that. But it's increasingly tried to lever its own foreign policy in the Middle East, which has contradicted Saudi Arabia at times, especially as Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has begun to directly challenge the Emirates in attracting foreign investments. So they're thinking it's because of that. They fix prices. Yep, that's what they do. They decide to increase or decrease production to keep prices where they want them. It says how UAE's shocking OPEC exit could drive prices down. Well, that would be interesting. They decide how many barrels to produce. Yeah, that's what they decide. Tuesday, this analyst said that the withdrawal is a significant shift in global petroleum group. While near-term effects may be muted given ongoing disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz, the long-term implication is structurally weaker OPEC. Jonathan says, Venezuela's in OPEC. I wonder what the future holds for that. It's all very suspect. It is, isn't it? It's all very suspect. Outside the group, the UAE would have both the incentive and ability to increase production, raise broader questions about the sustainability of Saudi Arabia's role as a market central stabilizer, and pointing to a potentially more volatile oil market as OPEC's capacity to smooth supply imbalances diminishes. So they want them all to be in OPEC? OPEC fixes oil prices, yeah. Well, they say they keep the market stable through their price fixing, but, I guess it depends on how you look at it. OPEC is not diminished by this change. It is reorganizing. Bet on that. Probably. Maybe something's going to be a new group that'll be like the U.S., Saudi Arabia, UAE. It'll be like certain groups. Sergei Valenko, former Gazprom Neft executive, said now is probably the least damaging time to announce. since oil prices are already high amid the war. After Hormuz reopens, there will be elevated demand as countries will be replenishing reserves that were drawn down. Without the UAE, OPEC will be much weaker. Other major producers, Iran and Iraq, did not maintain any substantial spare capacity. It was mostly done by the UAE and Saudi Arabia. In Tuesday's statement, the UAE Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure said, "We have reaffirmed our appreciation for efforts of both OPEC and the OPEC Plus alliance and wish them success." This decision reflects the UAE's long-term strategic and economic vision and evolving energy profile, including accelerated investment in domestic energy production and reinforcing its commitment to a responsible, reliable, and forward-looking role in global energy markets. Following the exit, the UAE will continue to act responsibly, bringing additional production to market in a gradual and measured manner, aligning with demand and market conditions. So they're worried that the UAE is just going to increase production, like just to, like to screw with everyone else, to like drive the price down. Iran has decided on zero for now. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like when the dudes cry. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. And it says, energy market shock as UAE pulls out of OPEC and huge blow to the global producers group. So is it 84 likes and 80 current viewers? You're all the best. Yeah, well, we've probably had 150 or so different people, maybe 200 different people that have watched the show, just not all at the same time so far tonight, because the views are pretty high for this low number of concurrent. So that means people came in and out different people. I think that's what it means. Seriously? Parker Posey. So I thought this might have been, never mind, Investigators are working on a theory for why the White House shooting suspect, Cole Allen, didn't want to target FBI Director Kash Patel. So they're working on a theory. Shock, it's barely over 100. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Pull the other one. Yeah, I know. Let's hope Jim cited this like ratio when dealing with unscrupulous intimidation. What? What are you talking about? So, deranged White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting suspect Cole Allen, alleged manifesto said he wanted to kill any member of the Trump administration except for Kash Patel. Now, federal investigators are trying to figure out why Patel was specifically exempt from the gunman's screed. And sources told the Post they have a working theory. As opposed to an unworking theory. Sources say Patel's specific inclusion likely stemmed from Allen's reported desire to avoid targeting law enforcement. No. That's bullshit. Come on. He shot a fucking Secret Service agent. So
FBI Director Kash Patel joins us now with an update. So, Kash, I know you guys have been working feverishly, especially over the last 24 hours, along with Secretary Markwayne Mullin. What have you learned about the shooter that you want our audience to understand?
Hey, thanks so much for having me on. First and foremost, I want to remind your audience of President Trump's leadership, literally courage under fire that evening at the press conference to announce to the world and be as transparent as possible. He's assembled the greatest law enforcement team that I've ever seen. And between myself and Markwayne Mullin and the interagency in the White House, we are prepared to tackle this investigation, as we've done since it started. We immediately, for the FBI, dispatched evidence response teams, a mobile command center, stood up up our NC3 National Crisis Coordination Center at headquarters and flexed in our expert capabilities in technical analysis. We conducted interviews literally across the country in multiple jurisdictions in less than 24 hours after this tragic event. And also
that's my theory, is the guy's like, oh, I don't want to shoot a person of color.
Evidence from across the country to Quantico so it can be analyzed quickly, because we believe in the necessity for speed and doing this properly, which is why we've done this investigation above board with our partners at DOJ,
speed,
and which is also why almost 24 or just over 24 hours after this tragic incident, you'll be seeing myself and Attorney General Todd Blanche address the nation with actual details relating to this event.
He was a lot funnier on The Office, wasn't he?
$49 garden hose nozzle that makes every pressure washer on the market
What?
completely
Get out of here.
unnecessary.
Get out of here. What are you doing? Anything would really just be speculating. So they're speculating. Sources say Patel's exclusion likely stemmed from Allen's purported desire to avoid targeting law enforcement while focusing squarely on President, who he targets for rents. He shot a Secret Service agent immediately. And he said he was going to shoot the Secret Service and all these people, and that's why he was. That's ridiculous. Anything would really be speculation, but he took the time to go through why he wasn't targeting all the law enforcement agents. So I think it's probably related to that. No, it's not why. Alternatively, Allen was pretty anti-Christian and Cash is a Hindu. Oh, so he didn't want to kill a Hindu because he didn't want to reincarnate it to come back and get him, maybe. Everyone is white, and that is not a person of color. Yes. Is that Cash's girlfriend touching him? Allen, who's charged with attempting to assassinate Trump, left behind a horrifying manifesto detailing rules of engagement. Administration officials, not including Patel, are all targets, prioritizing from highest to lowest. Secret Service, they are targets only if necessary. Hotel security, not targets if possible. Hotel staffers and guests were not targets either. But then he also said in the manifesto that he'd kill anybody who got in his way because, they paid to go see this guy. They are desperate to get rid of Cash, continue to cover up. Bongino says it's much worse than they are disclosing. Yeah, I know. And also, there was just a story they tried to pump out today, all from Just Left Wing, saying, Cash is about to be fired. It's like, what are you doing? What? Patel said the FBI was grateful to the Secret Service and the Homeland Security and other interagency partners. Yeah, so that's it. They got a theory. They got a theory. Oh. This one just says, Cash Patel was not on the list. Internet asks why. Take this with a grain of skepticism, but it's possible the would-be assassin didn't shoot the agent and it was friendly fire. I did see that. You have cousins in the Carolinas? Well, ain't that right? Well, all right. Anyway, I know there's some stuff out there saying it might have been friendly fire, and then so that would mean that the guy never fired a shot. I've seen reports that the guy shot 5 shots with the shotgun as he was running, but I didn't hear that on any of the stuff I was listening to. So, yes, you are visible. I see you. I think I've been answering your questions too. Oh, shit. Can you verify the cop was shot by Cole? Everything I've read is that it was a friendly fire when he ran the checkpoint. I saw it reported one place that he might have been shot by friendly fire. That's it. But they don't know yet. They're doing ballistics and stuff like that. But now, was the guy shot with a shotgun? Because I thought that's the only thing. He did shoot from what I've seen, but had NYPD aim. Dude was fast. Yeah. So his manifesto omitted the mention of FBI while he vowed not to spare any pedophile rapists and traitors. Oh, yeah, okay. Or anybody who wanted to see those people, went to see them. Seriously, I disable my ad blocker for this site too. What are you doing? No. Oh, fuck you. We got James Comey's. Maybe he dropped the shotgun after shooting the Secret Service. I don't know. Maybe. He was trained by the stormtroopers. It's possible. Are we seriously falling for the grainy, hard to see video, especially when there's perfect video in the dining room? Well, I think the video in the dining room is of, like, those are not security cameras. So Maureen Comey is lawsuit's allowed to go forward, even though there's a specific thing that they're supposed to.
Prosecutor's office for nearly a decade. Scott McFarland joins me here at the family table. Scott, I want to play you some sound from across the cultural landscape of
whatever. I'm watching that stupid shit. CBS. A federal judge on Tuesday ruled that former federal prostituter Maureen Comey's case challenging her firing can move forward in federal court, even though there's the Merit Service Review Panel or something like that that's supposed to handle firings. So Judge Jesse Furman rejected the administration's attempt to dismiss the lawsuit on grounds the daughter of former FBI director had to bring her claims before the Merit Systems Protection Board. Yes, the agency is tasked with adjudicating appeals from federal employees regarding adverse actions taken against them. Like, they set up this thing specifically. You don't know what she's suing for. The only outcome is money. Yeah. Like, that's why it's supposed to go through this other court system specifically set up for it. It's not supposed to go through, it's not supposed to be handled in district court. Instead, Furman found that because Comey's firing rested on Article 2 of the Constitution, not a federal law governing civil service, the federal court has jurisdiction to hear the case. What? Defendant's sole reliance on the Constitution rather than removal provisions places Comey's case outside the universe of cases that Congress intended. So, do you have, basically, if they're saying she was fired for constitutional reasons, then the district court there can't even be a lawsuit because the president has the sole authority to decide who the fuck works for the executive branch. Do they not understand how this works? Like, if you're saying, like, oh, you used the Constitution to fire her. Yeah, well, then you can't say a fucking word about it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Last July, she received a memorandum from the Justice Department stating notice of removal from federal service. Pursuant to Article 2 of the United States, the laws of the United States, your employment with the Department of Justice is hereby terminated and you're removed from federal service. Comey asked the interim U.S. attorney about the basis, and he told her, all I can say is it came from Washington. I can't tell you anything else. Oh. Comey alleged that she was likely fired because Trump disliked her father. The president frequently attacked the former FBI director because of his role in investigating alleged ties between the president and, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Cash App rally? Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much, Jonathan Marcus. $5 on Cash App. Thank you. That means we are now just $45 away from adding an extra hour to the show, even though we've already done almost an entire extra hour already. Hey. Jules got cookies. Awesome. Don't toss them. Last time she shocked the crap out of you. Oh, told the nurse, just hope the nurse doesn't defibrillate again. Oh, okay. No, I'm not talking about. All right. So, Comey filed an appeal of her firing with the Merit Service Protection Board in August and then filed a lawsuit in federal court. She's seeking a court order reinstating her role and back pay. They can't give her role back. The Trump administration asked the court to dismiss her case on the grounds the district court last jurisdiction to hear the case. It would. In allowing the lawsuit to move forward, Furman found that her case does not fall within the purview of the scheme laid out in the Civil Service Reform Act because she was fired pursuant to Article 2 of the Constitution. Well, if she was fired due to Article 2 of the Constitution, then guess what, district court? You don't have any fucking jurisdiction over it either. So that's just ridiculousness, man. Just ridiculousness. Nebraska is going to be the first state to enforce Medicaid work requirements. Nebraska on Friday will become the first state to enforce work or volunteer education requirements for new Medicaid applicants. Advocates worry the state is launching so rapidly that key details remain unresolved and some people who are eligible for coverage will lose it. What? State officials say they're prepared. They're training staff, sending letters, emails, and texts to people who could be impacted. Health policy experts and other states will be watching closely. You're with Jonathan, Cash App Rally? Oh, thank you, Jules. 5. On Cash App. Thank you so much. It means we are now 40 away. 40 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. They rolling on NWO, New World Order? New World Order? Order? Is it odor or order? It's a new world, man. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. It can be used as a lesson to other states, both where things go well and where things don't go well. I know the New World Order. I was seeing New World Man by Rush. Making sure we get every able-bodied Nebraskan to be a part of our community. The state has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the U.S. The federal policy won't apply to all Medicaid beneficiaries, just those who are enrolled under an expansion that most states chose to make to allow more low-income people to get health care coverage. Under the change, many Medicaid participants aged 19 to 64 will have to show that they work or do community service. Exceptions will be made for people who are too medically frail to work or in addiction treatment programs. The Urban Institute report from March estimates the changes would mean about 5 to 10 million fewer people nationally would be enrolled in Medicaid. So they're saying, how do I send money to Jim and Cash App? Well, it's on, there's a link in the chat for Cash App. There is a code on the screen for Cash App, a QR code. There's a link that you can follow, in a chat. In a chat. It's pinned in the chat on YouTube. There's also there's also a link for the PayPal and PayPal too. Kofi Coffee, something. Rush has a new girl drummer. Really? The choices states make about how to run their programs are expected to be a major factor. The higher the administration burden, the more likely people are found non-compliant and disenrolled. State says, here's the thing. I hope they don't ever use AI to decide if people should be on any of these programs after what I've seen YouTube do with the demonetization stuff. Like, holy crap, it would just deny, have AI deciding if insurance should pay claims. They would never pay another claim. You would have to fight with them constantly. Just waking up from a 3-hour nap with my boots, and I just remembered about telling Rokana meeting with Epstein victims chat off being time. The state says it will first match enrollees with their data it has to see if participants are working or exempt. The state said it has that information for most of the roughly 70,000 people enrolled in Medicaid through the expansion. That leaves between 20 and 28,000 who would have to provide more information, plus an average of 3 to 4,000 new enrollees each month. At first, they'll need to show us that they meet the requirements in just one of the previous 12. The time frame will shift to 6 months in 2027. That's some flexibility. Oh yeah, so I think because I guess what they're saying is that if you meet the requirements to be on Medicaid just 1 month in the previous 12 months, then you get to be on Medicaid for a year or something like that, or for the year. And then they're shifting it to 6 months because instead of it being automatically 1 year on Medicaid, it'll be just automatically 6 months on Medicaid. So everybody has to be, they're doubling the amount of times people have to get requalified or something, which I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a way to make sure people aren't screwing around. Oh man, something in my eye. Oh, people who don't submit requested information within 30 days could have their applications denied or lose coverage. This person that lives in Nebraska received a letter saying she must meet the work requirement or lose the benefit that pay for her insulin and diabetic supplies. A 21-year-old mother now has a part-time job despite her being advised against it to protect her mental health. Seriously, this is the fucking story you went with? This is the fucking story you went with to say that people, oh my God, it's a terrible thing of forcing people to work because this woman was advised against having a job because of her mental health. A 21-year-old mother advised against working because of her mental health. Should she have a child? Maybe the child should be taken away if her mental health is not capable of working? How can her mental health be capable of raising a child? This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Bridget Annabelle, who lives in southwest Nebraska, received a letter saying she must meet the work requirement or lose the benefits that pay for her insulin and diabetic supplies. The 21-year-old mother now has a part-time job despite being ill-advised against it to protect her mental health. Wow. She's worried about her ability to keep working. Although I call out of work often due to fibromyalgia and bipolar episode. Holy fuck. So you got a 21-year-old that has mental health problems, fibromyalgia, bipolar, and just is a mother. I think maybe for the betterment of everybody, that kid should be in living with the father or with grandparents or something, because it sounds like this lady's going to end up being one of these people that something bad's going to happen to the kid. I have enough energy to take care of my daughter and do some cleaning, but that's about it. So she doesn't have it. So am I imagining then that this giant blob of person has no energy to do anything except for just wipe herself, clean herself, and eat? There's no test. They have to take your word for the symptoms. Yeah, but 21 years old, isn't that like insane? Age-wise? I understand. I'm not saying it's not real, but to me, it's like, do you remember how everyone would say they were allergic to gluten for the longest time? That was the fad. Like, I'm allergic to gluten. I'm allergic to gluten. So that everybody had this, and they're like, no, you don't have this. That's very rare. It's only certain amount of people. But everybody would say that they have a gluten allergy or whatever. I'm like, no. And now we're having the same thing, but everybody's saying they have fibromyalgia. Like tons of people. Like, I think there's real cases, and I think there's probably people that just say it because they know there's no test that can show it. That's all I'm saying. Oh, gluten messes with everything. Oh, she can't wipe herself. Maybe. I have a gluten issue. The bipolar is all you need to know. Well, should have went with Lyme disease. Yeah, right? So they're saying like you can do like apprenticeship programs, you can do all these things, but the case they use is this girl. It says, oh, she can take care of her daughter and do some cleaning, but that's about it. Right. And Nebraska could have to make changes after the federal government provides guidance that's expected in June. You have a glutton problem? Okay. A real good wiper. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Mad cow. Yeah. Sounds like a social media complex. That's what I'm thinking. Georgia Edie's, change your diet, change your mind. Denny Crane, what's up? So, well, I thought that story was going to be more interesting, but it's just exactly the story you thought it would be. Why aren't you loading? I'm getting like 403 errors all of a sudden trying to open web pages. Anyway, all right, whatever. This story I thought was very interesting. Cheers to Mad Cow. Sorry. Part of chronic pain is learning your limits and how to pace yourself. It's tough as AF to do. Can't imagine it with a kid. Well, I mean, I can't, like, I have chronic pain. I have severe back pain. I have a spinal cord stimulator, and I spend all day chasing kids around. So, I don't know. Going in the pool with them, doing stuff with them. 12 inmates. Check this out. 12 inmates charged in gang-affiliated disturbance at Washington State Prison. Then you might go like, wait, Washington State Prison? Well, it's not in Washington. It's in Georgia. And these 12 people are charged with something called murder. Yes, 12 people charged with murder for a bunch of murders that happened. I'm muted? I'm not muted. Hello? Washington puts people in prison. Oh, Georgia, that makes more sense. Yeah. You see a pattern? Did you see a pattern there? No, I hear you. Okay. Did you see the pattern there of these 12 inmates that got charged with murder for murdering people while inside prison on some riots that happened? So 12 inmates are facing additional felony charges and gang-affiliated disturbance at Washington State Prison that left 4 inmates dead, over a dozen injured. Wow. Confirmed the 12 male offenders have been charged with felony murder, aggravated assault, gang participation, unlawful acts, and violence in a penal institution in connection with the investigation of a deadly incident at the prison located in Davisboro. Oh, that guy's got a crazy tattoo on his neck. Uh, 42-year-old Jimmy Trammell, 23-year-old Omad Hatcher, and 27-year-old Teddy Jackson died in the altercation. So these are the people that died in the altercation. Yeah. While Silas Westbrook, who was injured in the fight, later died following a medical emergency while being transferred from the Washington State Prison. So they're not calling it a murder because he died while being transferred. Why is Georgia Corrections involved with Washington State Prison? It's not. That's the thing. Like, this is, I think it's just called, though, like, it might be like George Washington Prison. Did I get blocked? My prior chat failed. No, it could be like a YouTube thing. You're not blocked. Just wonky. Yeah. Yeah, see, this guy is serving 35 years for manslaughter out of Fulton County, Spalding County, Richmond County. This is all Georgia. Tift County, Clayton County, Gwinnett County. This is all Georgia. So the prison's name is Washington Prison. So like George Washington Prison or George Washington Carver Prison or something like that. Or like some Washington prison. It's not even in Washington County, but it's just the Washington State Prison. It's an error, yeah. That's crazy. This one says 12 Georgia inmates face prison fight killed for. Charges for prison fight to kill for. Georgia State Prison. So I don't know why I kept saying Washington. But it says in the area of Washington State Prison, a medium security facility in Davisboro, about 130 miles southeast of Atlanta. So Washington State Prison is 130 miles southeast of Atlanta. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Isn't that kind of crazy? Just look it up. So stupid. Washington County, Georgia, Washington, Georgia State Prison. I didn't even think it was. Is it Washington County? I was working since 17, then stayed home to raise our kids and started a home improvement company. Still doing that 28 years later. Well, that's just fantastic. That's just fantabulous. That's just fantabulous. So, who's live now? Well, that's weird. Why can't I find them? Did they go off the air? Huh. I guess Nightwave Radio it is. All right. Well, everybody, I want to thank if they let them out safe in federal prison, yeah. CG After Dark. It didn't show me that. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who was here. I'll see you all tomorrow. Come on back. We went like over 3 hours, actually. I want to thank everybody who was here. Please remember to hit like, please subscribe if you haven't already. And come back tomorrow for Jim to tell you some news and stuff.